Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, people, to another episode of Reasoning Time. It's episode 22, and of course, it's Jason Gooner TV. I am your host, Jason Gooner, and first and foremost, I just want to say respect to each and every one of you who have took the time to subscribe to the channel. We are fast approaching 2,000 subscribers. And yeah, when we started the channel out, we didn't really know what was going to come of it, but we are very thankful that people think that the content is worthy of watching. They drop their subscriptions, they drop their likes. So I really do appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. It's been a little while since I've been on the platform. Had a lot of things going on this weekend, so I just didn't really have the time. But I wanted to make sure that I came out with some content for you guys tonight. I know a lot of times people might catch my shows after the fact. We really appreciate any view. So whether it's live, pre-recorded views, old views, whatever it is. Yeah, it's just a joy and a pleasure to bring you guys this content. I really do appreciate everybody that does tune in, watch the show. We greatly appreciate it. Darren Martin said, BBK brought me here. Big up yourself, Darren Martin. Gunners for life. You don't know the thing up. And yeah, if you're a fan of Jamaican football, definitely this show is going to talk a bit about that. As you can see, Reasoning Time episode 22. Today we're going to talk about players on the move during this summer transfer window. I have a lot of players that have made moves. The title did have Richard King, Jamaica defender, on the title of the video, or the thumbnail, excuse me, of the video. So yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight for sure. And of course, many others who have made moves, re-signed contracts, things of that nature. And definitely talk about some transfer rumors of some of our players as well. Also, we're going to talk about coaching education in Jamaica. I haven't had a chance really to break down the interview Speid did with SportsMax. I think it was last week. So he made a few points in there that I'd like to touch on. So we're going to go ahead and basically just give you my point of view on some of the things that were said, where I thought he was on point, where I thought maybe, he could have put a little bit more thought into how he was wording everything. But I'll give my takes on that tonight. I know it's happened a bit now, but should be digested by a lot of you, so you guys should still be able to understand the information. And then lastly tonight, we're going to talk about the passport process, how you get citizenship and then your passport to represent Jamaica and play for one of the teams. We had a show on I Am Sure Sports the other day with Manning's Man, the host. Of course, team manager of the Reggae Boys right now, and also Reggae Boys commentary's own Simon Preston, who is now the press officer for the Reggae Boys. They were both on the show talking about the process, and I had some thoughts regarding that show, and I was going to share that with you all today. So that's pretty much the docket for the show. Of course, a lot of things going on in the world of football right now that it would be, it wouldn't be right of me not to talk about as well as we start out the show, as people start to realize that we're live and start tuning in. First things first, I have to say congratulations to my pops Michael Hall's team, Chelsea, for winning the Club World Cup. Big win over PSG. Of course, PSG was pretty much the team that people pretty much figured that nobody could beat this season. But they were toppled yesterday. And yeah, I have to give them their respect and their credit. I think their game plan was spot on. They basically looked at what Bayern, Liverpool, Arsenal, things of that nature were able to do against PSG this year. And I think they put all the best parts of what they saw from those games and put it into one game plan with Chelsea. And I think PSG definitely felt the loss of their centre-back, William Pacho. I thought he was a huge miss. And I thought that Beraldo could not really handle what was coming at him on the day. So, yeah. African said, blessings, Jason. Hope the family is well. Yeah, man, the family is good. Just had a bit of a busy time. And I'm gonna be totally honest, some of the reason why I didn't make any content this weekend also was I was tricked by the West Indies thinking that they were going to put up a fight versus Australia in the test match in Jamaica, which ended today with the West Indies coming very, very close to having the lowest score in a test innings of all time. I think the record right now is New Zealand with 26 all out. Well, Australia bowled us out today in the second innings for 27. I think seven people made ducks. So yeah, it was tough, people. It was tough. But I was watching them Saturday and Sunday night, and of course they're doing the test match with the pink ball day-night game. So the games were running into about the 10:30, 11 o'clock time for me. And I'm somebody that when I do these programs, I like to do a little bit of prepping before. So just with all the things going on during the day, of course I could not stream the final for the Club World Cup because I was busy that day. So yeah, it was me giving some of my time and my fan, me being a fan of the West Indies, getting my hopes up for no reason. I gave them my time the last couple of days. And yeah, I was expecting maybe to not do a show tonight because I'd be watching cricket. But of course, the West Indies had other plans, and so did Australia. So Australia whitewash 3-0 for the test. So I think we're moving to the T20s now, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully T20s is a game that West Indies usually do a lot better in. So let's see if we can get some better results in that. But yeah, it was crazy. Bless up Richard Green in the building. Darren said, LOL, West Indies. Yeah, bro, horrible. Up, Big G, Wagwan. We're there, man, we're there. I know, say a little time in a run out, but we'd have to run out to the start. The news I go so fast these days. Even though I've never been a type to try to get on first and say, yo, this is the first time when I hear about this. That's not really my thing. But at the same time, the people them want to hear about the more current events. So you can't make too much time pass. So I say, yeah, I can't make another day pass and I don't talk about some of these things. From my perspective, my point of view, if I agree with moves, if I don't agree with moves, yeah, that's basically what this show going to be about today. At least that part of the show. And as I said, we're going to move into the coaching education and then close off the show with some passport conversation and just my takeaways from that program that I watched on I Am Sure Sports. Second lowest score in the history of Test cricket. Yep, beat them by 1, brother. So New Zealand was probably getting the news and saying, yeah, man, out them faster so we can get off of that record. But no, we still have it. Yeah, man, a joke thing, Darren. I tell you the truth. I saw the scores. Yeah, I took a couple of days for vacation just to reset, so I get it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, shout out, as I said, to Chelsea for winning the Club World Cup. Great execution of a game plan. And PSG, for the first time this season in a while, really looked like they didn't have the answers yesterday. But obviously the big news out of that win as well was the whole trophy presentation. So, Trump gives them the trophy, didn't get out of the photo or anything. He was just standing amongst the Chelsea players, and even James looked over at him. I think Cole Palmer even said, "Are you gonna leave?" If you read his mouth. And yeah, he just stood there. So every photograph of Chelsea winning the Club World Cup, there's Donald Trump in the middle of it, looking and clapping like he's a part of the team. So I have to congratulate Donald Trump as well for winning the Club World Cup. There's also a story that's out today. I don't know how true it is, people, but they're basically saying that Trump actually took home the official trophy itself and said that a replica will be sent to Chelsea. Now, I don't have any proof of this. I just saw some TikTok video with it or something like that. But I did see video proof of him taking a medal and putting it in his pocket. So there's that as well. So congrats to Chelsea and Donald Trump for winning the Club World Cup. Then in other news, football related, the Women's Euro group stage finished off. So we'll have the matchups for that. I've been covering the Women's Euro as well. So let me show you guys, where we're at in the competition. Let's see, Women's Euro. All right, so we have Group A. Norway and Switzerland got through first and second in the group. Matter of fact, let me show you guys this on the screen, just to get you up to date or up to speed in case you're not sure what's going on in the tournament. So as you can see on the screen, Group A had Norway, the host Switzerland, Finland, and Iceland. Norway and Switzerland were able to get through. very, very tight for second place. You know, really goal difference kept Switzerland in the next round. So they'll get to play a knockout game in front of their fans in the round of 16. Finland and Iceland definitely disappointed. 3 losses in the group. Group B, we have Spain topping that group. No surprise there. 9 points from 3 games. Italy in second. A much improved Italy, I may add, from what I've seen in the past. Belgium and Portugal, the odd ones out in this group, with 3 points and 1 point respectively. Then in Group C, another team that is undefeated so far, Sweden. They had 3 from 3, 8 goals, 1 against, the stingiest defense in the competition so far. And Germany, 5 goals against, but they have 2 wins and a loss, losing their final group stage game to Poland when pretty much they were, you know, set to head into the next round, just playing for first or second in that last group stage match. Denmark, bad performance from them this year in the Euro. 0 points from the 3 games. And then Group D, the final group, I thought had probably the toughest 3 teams in one group. France and England are the ones that get through the group, with my team, the Netherlands, on the outside looking in. They weren't able to beat anyone but Wales on this Euro trip. They lost both to England and then France in the final game, and that sealed their fate out of the competition. But France and England, after bouncing back with a loss to France in the first game, came back and had a very resounding win against Netherlands in the second game, and continued their form in the third matchup of the group against Wales. Wales always had an uphill battle with these 3 teams, and you know, they tried, but they ended on 0 points. So let's take a look at the knockout phase, how that's going to look. So we have Sweden taking on England, Norway taking on Italy, and that game will be on Wednesday. The England-Sweden game will be on Thursday at 3, so I might actually do that one. And then we have Spain, Switzerland, and France, Germany. You see how the brackets play out. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here moving into the next week. My early predictions for this, I'm going to say, so the first game, Norway, Italy, I'm going to go with Norway. I think they're going to be a bit too strong, too much pedigree. They will get past Italy, but I think Italy will surprise people with their performance. Sweden, England is very, very difficult to call. Look, I think probably the best thing happened to England in this tournament was losing to France in the first game. Sweden, they are a team that you have to watch out for. I think with them, the issue that I have in this matchup against England, I think England has been able to find enough younger talent to put with the more established players to keep the balance of the team age looking good. I think Sweden is a little bit more on the other side. A lot of their players, 30s, mid-30s, some even late 30s. They do have some younger players coming through, but I think the bulk of their main players have a little more age. Typically in the women's game, it's not that big of a factor like in the men's game, but I'm going to just stick to my guns and say I think England gets through. Like I said, I think that first game, shake up, losing was a big thing for them to go through. And the way they finished that group stage, I would like to say that, Sweden, while they have been very stingy defensively, I don't know if they'll be able to be so stingy against this England attack. And I think the England defense has been figured out the minute the coach took Jess Carter from left back, put her to centre back. So, yeah, I like England in that matchup as well. But Sweden, I wouldn't be shocked if they got the job done. But I'm going to go with England. So England and Norway, I think we'll get to the quarterfinal there. And then we have France, Germany, Spain, Switzerland. Now, I don't think Switzerland can hang with the Spanish. It's a fairy tale if they were able to do it at home. But I just feel like, any other team in this round, maybe I'd give them a puncher's chance. I don't see it with Spain. I think Spain will advance. And then we have France and Germany. For me, France is peaking at the right time. They have been able to turn over their lineup. A lot of those aging players either out of the team altogether or to play in a peripheral role now. And we're seeing the new ones come through and really do damage. So France, Spain, Norway, England, my 4 picks for the round of 16 matches. And we'll be here on the channel to cover most of that stuff, right? So, yeah, just wanted to shed some light on what's going on in the Women's Euro. The other competition going on right now is the WAFCON. That's the Women's African Nations. So let's just take a look at that as well. And then we'll get right into the discussion about the players and what they have been doing as far as their moves. Africa Cup of Nations, women. All right, so these are the groups. Wait. Oh, this basketball? Oh, go on. Okay, here we go. Football. All right, so Group A, Morocco and Zambia gone through. Zambia, my side. Barbara Banda them. Yeah, they came second though in the group goal difference. Then we have Group B, Nigeria top in the zone, but they were only able to muster a draw in the last game against Algeria, a 0-0 draw, but haven't conceded a goal yet in the tournament, which is good. Neither has Algeria though, but only scoring one. But they had 2 draws and not the 2 wins that Nigeria had, so they're second. Then Group C, South Africa and Ghana got through. Big up Africans, your team made it. Yep, so they made it to the second round, and then we have, okay, so it's only 3 groups. So how the knockout stage going to work now? Does anybody know? So the knockout stage game them now play? Or for this, you just play this and that's it? How this work, man? By round 1, 2, and 3. So yo, so when does this continue? It's still 25th of July. So what? All right, maybe if I just go to hold on the people. Women's African Cup of Nations. People, make sure you're hitting the like button, you're sharing the content, and you're subscribing. Please and thanks. Please and thanks. All right. Where is the damn Cup of Nation? Nigeria win it 9 times. Damn. So Morocco hosts it every time. Oh, so hold on. New format. Main tournament. Yo, can anybody explain to me? Maybe he's here. Quarterfinal matchups are okay. Wikipedia have it. 2 third-place team make it. Okay. So the quarterfinals are as follows: Morocco versus Mali, Algeria versus Ghana, Nigeria versus Zambia. Oh my gosh, what a game! Yo, I have to watch that game. And South Africa versus Senegal. Damn. Yo, Nigeria, Zambia is going to be a rotted game. I'll tell you that right now. So this is what you have. Morocco, Ghana. What a wicked guy you are, man. Algeria can't get scored on, You're going to win on penalties. And Nigeria, South Africa. Damn. Watch when Banda them mash them up. All right, so let's see. Why the match at ESPN Ross 27? Yeah, man, 27, brother. It's a history. What the players lacking: heart and commitment. Have a heart machine, brother. You can't even call them batsmen, Travis. I don't know what to call them. Bless up cause and congrats to Trump for winning the cup. I tell you, all that running. FDT. Wait, say F Donald Trump B. Boy, they might flag the video for that now. Damn. West Indies win, lose, or draw, same way still. back at it Sunday in the T20. Yeah, well, hopefully T20 we can do, I think. I don't know our format that now. If I'm a player, I'm fighting for my medal. I don't care who the person is. Infantino, make sure them print some extra one, man, in case he want to take some home to him kids and everything. Africans FC, blessings. Yeah, man, bless up everybody in the chat. West Indies batsmen are too tied to T20 style cricket. All they train to do is smash ball, no patience and skill. That's a definite fact. Everybody sees that the big bucks getting paid to the franchise cricket with the T20. So them all train for T20, you know what I mean? Them all train for that. Bless up Tuffy Rudy. Hope all is well with you, my boss. Bam, leave the cricket alone, say coach. West Indies has not been good for a long time. The guys need to play county cricket in England or Sheffield Shield in Australia. Professionalism is lacking. Yeah, because me I hear about some average where them having at the regional cricket, and I said that now reach to I'm seeing at the game them. Norway, Sweden, France, Spain semi. Yes, well, I know that you cannot choose England, so I knew that Sweden would be one of the choices for that game. But it looks like the other three will have the same. Smash the like button. Yeah, man, let them know. If the player's not getting contracts in county cricket, how they're going to play in England? That is true. You can't just turn up and say, yo, put me on your team. There are the professional leagues in Australia, India, true. Big up Man United fan from Beckham time. Yeah, man. Yeah, long time fan. Seals and Roach are the two players me know play county cricket for Sussex and Surrey. Okay. Only 6 West Indies batsmen have averaged 35 or more since 1995, 30 years ago. Damn! Yeah, that is true. That is very, very, very true. That is very true. Zambia still have no defense. Yeah, they'll just win the game 6-5 and then they'll move on. We were very poor before T20. Yeah, man, it give you a lifeline as far as cricket. At least the good thing about the T20 game is it give the players them a chance for earn, because if it was up to just test matches right now, boy, I think nobody around the world would want the West Indies and them, at least the batsmen, maybe the bowlers, but the batsmen, nah. Is it true that the pink ball that they're using swings a lot and that is the problem? Well, Mr. Porter, that could be true that the pink ball does different things than the red ball or even the white ball would, but at the same time, it's just like what I say about when I see us play teams and we say, boy, the feel no good. That's why we not play good. Remember, both teams use the same equipment, so we are bowling at them with the same pink ball that's swinging more, moving more, and doing more things. But they are, obviously they are making less runs than they normally would, but they're still making over 200. Of course, we bowl them down in the second innings for like, what was it, like 140 something. So yeah, we did our thing, our 160, whatever it was. We did our thing, but we have to do better. I mean, 27. I mean, come on, Mr. Porter. I don't care if it's blue balls. I mean, you have to come on, man. Defend your wicket. I mean, some of the ways that some of the guys got out as well. It's just like, man, you guys really not applying yourselves well enough. But look, when in cricket, for sure, I was spoiled. When I was growing up, and people would say when I was growing up, it was too late. Like the 70s and 80s were really the prime, But even those 90s teams, I mean, at least we had like a Lara, a Shanda Paul, Desmond Haynes. You had someone who was going to make runs, So a collapse back then would have been like 150 or 125. A collapse now is 27. So it's a big, big difference. True, but our batsmen never look positive no time in both innings. Yeah, because even in this series, you could see that the pink ball, was causing havoc for the Australians as well. But even in the innings where they had a bigger collapse in the second innings, there was at least a spell or at least a partnership by two guys where them at least make it don't be a 27 all out. We just don't have those guys. And if right now, the way I see the lineup, if certain man out fast, it's definitely going to be a low score. And it was not that way with the West Indies before. Like somebody would have stepped up and hold it down to make sure it's not a disaster. You know, but we don't have them thing there right now at all, brother. We don't have them thing. Anyway, we could have talked about this longer, but it's gonna make me upset. So let's move into the news. So we have obviously the thumbnail, the person on the thumbnail tonight, Richard King. He made his move to Scotland Premiership, and he will be joining St. Mirren. Now, St. Mirren is a club that perennially in the league, struggle. They'll be in and around relegation, things of that nature. But in recent history, as recently as last year, I want to say they finished like fifth, which for them is a very, very good finish in that league. And they have made quite a few additions in the summer. Their season actually got started out just last weekend. Saturday they had their first League Cup match, and the way the Scottish League Cup works, it is basically like a group. So they played their first group stage match. They did, I think they fell 1-0 if I'm not mistaken. They lost their game, and Richard King was an unused sub. But I was very surprised when I saw the lineup come out. I was saying, okay, first preseason game, maybe we'll get a run out. But then I realized that it was an actual fixture to start off their season. So, St. Mirren's league campaign doesn't get going until August the 3rd, and it's not a much tougher start in that league than their first league game. They do face Celtic in the first week of the season. So that's a very, very tough litmus test for them going into this new season. Steve Robinson, their manager, he had something to say way back on June the 17th on their website. And I'm just going to put it on screen really quickly and just browse through and read it for you. So Jamaican international Richard King joined St. Mirren from June the 17th, 2025. St. Mirren Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of Richard King from JPL side Cavalier FC on a 2-year deal, subject to a medical and visa approval. The 23-year-old defender signs a deal until summer 2027, with the club holding an option to extend for a further year. So 2-year deal initially, and then they have the option to extend for that further third year, right? Richard, a Jamaican international with 30 caps, has coveted interest from clubs across the UK and Europe, but has chosen to join Saints and becomes our third signing of 2025-26, following the permanent acquisitions of Killian Phillips and Roland Edowu from Crystal Palace and Shrewsbury Town, respectively. Saints manager Stephen Robinson said, Richard King is a player I tried to sign in January along with Martin. We had tracked him for a long time and kept up with his progress. He has progressed really well under Steve McLaren and the Jamaican national team. He's quick, he's strong, and he's a project for us, as well as it's a step up in level. We think Richard will add real competition to the boys we've already got and give us another option in that department. So I want you guys to read and listen carefully to those words, right? Richard King is a player he tried to sign in January. He said he tracked him for a long time and kept up with his progress. He has progressed really well under Steve McLaren and the Jamaican national team. He's quick, he's strong, and he's a project for us, as well as it's a step up in level. So he's giving him the accolades and saying, yes, he's progressing well. We've seen his progress with the Jamaican national team, but he also adds in that last statement there, he's a project for us. I want people to remember that when the season does start and you're wondering how come King ain't playing, if that's the case, just remember the coach told you that it is really a project as well. And they acknowledge that it's going to be a step up in level. So they don't want to just feed him to the wolves to get mashed up. So I want people to understand, because, I think when there was an image on their site that came out and everybody was getting all excited. And I remembered, this is what I'm talking about, the squad numbers here. And he got the number 5. And I remember when this happened with Kaheem Dixon, right? When I found out he got the number 13, I said, damn, This man ain't going no academy. This man is number 13. He's gonna be playing. I was so wrong, people. Now, St. Mirren, I don't think has the type of depth chart like a Charlton. So I don't think the situation will be the same. Plus, he's over 21. They ain't gonna put him in no academy. He'll be in the first team. That much I know. But again, let's just, we'll see. And I think it will be a good marker to see how early he starts to get meaningful minutes as to where they think he is in his project, because he is a project for them. Remember that, people. So let's not beat them too harsh if we don't see King getting the minutes right away in the season. As I said, it's a very, very tough start. So if them really want to see what he's about, them can just throw him into the Wolves against Celtic on the first day, but I don't think they'll do that. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Now, they do have another League Cup match that's happening tomorrow against Forfar. So that will give them another opportunity to see if King has gotten some more training under his belt to get a chance to see the pitch tomorrow. They did get a red card in the first game they played, but, it was kind of circulating that the red card was for one of the defenders, so he'd be out for the next game. I can confirm that the red card was indeed one of the central midfielders. So some of you people that want him to play central midfield, maybe the coach thinks like you guys and he gets a chance there. I think he'll probably be in the back line when he gets his chance personally, but we shall see, people. I'm not a fortune teller. I can only tell you what I think might go on, and we'll see if I'm right later. But Richard King made his move to St. Mirren. Look, my takeaways from this, I don't think there's anything negative I could say about this move. I think most of us who watch Jamaican football and follow it, we all acknowledge that the kid definitely has some growing to do as a player. And I think most of us also thought that growth that he needed now could not be attained staying in the local league. So that is what I will say. Just happy that he has finally made the move out of Jamaica, where he'll truly get tested week in, week out. I do think that he had gotten to a level in the country where, it was quite clear that he wasn't really challenging himself anymore and not improving at the rate that he could. So just happy that they were able to get that over the line. And I do think that if he's able to apply himself, he should be able to learn on the job. And he's going to have his growing pains, that's for sure. But I do think that, I think mentality-wise, he seems to have the right mentality, willing to put his head down and work. So let's see if now that he's in a different environment and being challenged, that we see something more come out of his gameplay. So it's going to be an interesting move moving forward. But I do think that, I'm not upset at the deal because, as I said, I think it was just very important that he got out of Jamaica. I do think that it's a good thing as well that, even though it's not the Premier League or the Championship, it is the Scottish Premiership, which maybe the level isn't as high as some people would want him to be playing. But I do feel like, when it's that move from the JPL, remember his only other experience off the island would have been playing in Iceland. And I think, that was a bit of a baptism by fire there, because he was thrown in to play pretty much all those games with them. Couldn't help them to avoid the relegation zone. But, I think a part of the reason why he probably came back from that situation is, I don't know if he really fully, from what I heard like people that would have, known about the league because they know the players, him and Busy, namely. I don't think that he was even impressed with some of the levels there. Maybe the facilities, maybe the professionalism, yes, but the gameplay itself, based on how I hear others talk, which I don't agree with, but I hear them saying that the Iceland League not much better than JPL. So if he in his mind is hearing that from people, I think he might have taken that on himself and thought, yeah, it's outside Jamaica, but it ain't much better than what I was playing before. Now, I don't think that they could say that about the Scottish Premiership, but let's see. But yeah, that's pretty much it on King. Again, I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think anything about it is bad. I think it's a situation where if he applies himself, he should be able to get some game time. And that's really what we want. We want the players improving, getting games, and preferably we want them to be challenging themselves and trying to get to a better level. And I think that this league, if he gets, some minutes, some time, surely it will make him a better player. So for me, no issues. I know, like I said, I see Duckland in the chat saying personally, I think he could have gotten to a bigger club. Well, maybe he could have gotten to a bigger club and we would have felt like a bigger sense of pride, because when you tell a man that your ball are gone to St. Mirren, the next question is probably, well, who the hell is that club? Because unless you're like me, we just follow football to the ends of the earth, you might not know who that club is or where they play or anything about that club. It's a lot easier, like when Whisper got sold, to say, oh, Whisper got Chelsea, and we omit that more than likely he's gonna have to play U21. Shoot, he might have to start U18s, and work his way up. We didn't care about that. We're just glad that we can say Whisper got Chelsea, so the fact that we can't really brag about the St. Mirren thing, maybe that's why people don't love it as much. But again, any opportunity off the island to improve is a good opportunity. So let's keep tracking the player. We will here. We don't discriminate tracking players. So we will be seeing what King is up to over there. But I like the move. I don't have no issue with it. Oh, don't leave out the last part. He said he can compete. Yeah, man. He's a project for us, and he can compete for us. So he said both. These current players do not apply themselves and be patient, fend off the good balls and hit the bad ones, because they must bowl some loose ones. Yeah, and I think Porter, to Australia's credit, the loose ones were very few and far between. Yo. Yeah, he already has 30 caps. Yeah, man, it's crazy. You didn't even realize how much game the man played to Rati. It's a good step up for King. Yeah, man, I agree. Big up Real Baller in the building. Yeah, man, respect, man. Respect for tuning in, my boss. Like up the video. Some of the best come out of that league. It's now up to him to shine. Yeah, man, some good players have gone through that league. That is for true. Let's see. King could follow the path of the great VVD and end up in the EPL at Liverpool. You never know, Nitro. You never know. If he goes there and not playing, then that would be a big issue for me. All right, so Duckland said, because Duckland said earlier he should have go to a bigger club. Now I'm saying if him go there and him not playing, that would be a big issue for me. Well, Duke, hopefully that don't happen then, because, I mean, I'm telling you to temper your expectations as far as how fast he break into the team. You're saying no, because this team ain't no team, but the team that he was coming from, Cavalier, I don't think they could beat this team. So you can think the team ain't big, but the team might be bigger than him right now. He might have to work him way into it. But let's see, because as Rob Smith rightly say, we can't just focus on the part where him say he's a project. We have to also say the end part, which said he's also here to compete and try to get into the team. So yeah, man, both things can be true. And, in the coach's mind, they are, because that's how he described the player. All right, so let's move on to another player that made a move in Europe recently. And this is a player that has represented Jamaica already. And, I would say probably had one of the most immediate impacts when he got into the Jamaica Reggae Boy setup, and that is one Deari Gray. He has left his club out in Saudi Arabia, and he has gone directly back to his boyhood club. And as you can see, they are extremely happy about it. When you type in Birmingham City's website, the first thing you see is Blues complete signing of Deari Gray. And this is from obviously about 11 days ago now, Thursday, July the 3rd. Winger completes his return to hometown club and signs a 3-year deal in B9. Now, I pretty much rejoiced when I heard this. I think Deari could still probably play at a Premier League club currently, but at the same time, I do think that it would have taken him some time, and it's a risk he's running going back to the PL right after such a bad season in Saudi. of not really being high up in the pecking order. Now, I do think that with him going to Birmingham City, this is definitely an opportunity for him to, pretty much be one of the linchpins in the team and try to get them promotion into the PL. So look, he's the 29-year-old joins Blues from Saudi Pro League side Al Ettifaq and has put pen to paper on a 3-year contract due to the summer of 2028. It marks an exciting homecoming for the Birmingham-born winger who returns to his boyhood club, having come through the youth ranks in B9. After making his senior debut as a 17-year-old, Gray went on to feature 78 times in the Royal Blue, with his impressive performances catching the attention of Leicester City, who he joined in January 2016. After 5 years at the King Power, where he helped the Foxes lift the Premier League title and reach the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, the winger moved to Bayer Leverkusen in January 2021, but returned to English football after the 6 months with a switch to Everton. Gray spent 2 seasons at Goodison Park before completing a move to Al Ettifaq. At international level, Gray was capped by England at under 18, under 19, under 20, and under 21 level, but due to his eligibility, the winger opted to play for Jamaica at senior level, where he has since won 27 caps. So he's almost the same amount as King. But yeah, that is the news. Birmingham City delighted to announce the return of one of their boyhood heroes, Deari Gray, probably one of the ones that went through the academy and went on to win the Premier League. Not sure how many would have done that from the club. I'm sure more than just him. But yeah, played in the Champions League as well, got to the quarterfinals, as he said there. But Deari Gray, I think as a Jamaican fan, I definitely love the move. I think when you look at Deari Gray's career the last few years, when we got him, he pretty much, I think that was right in the summer before he went to Al Ettifaq, and his time in England was kind of going downhill with the playing time and everything. But yeah, once he got to Al Ettifaq, had an okay season his first season. Didn't have the kind of output he would have wanted, but I think he was still very much a part of the coach's plans, heavily playing a lot of minutes, getting good numbers as well in terms of rating in the games and stuff. But this year, really, everything just fell through. He played 29 games total between the Saudi Pro League, the Champions League, the Golf Club Champions League, and the King's Cup, and he was only able to muster 1 goal, 1 assist in those 29 games. Even the coach even was playing him like at times in central midfield just because his output up front was so lackluster. Just wasn't a good season for him overall. And he even mentioned, when you saw him in interviews, maybe it's time for him to go back, to Europe, especially back to England. He has a young son, and he said that was really the hardest part about him being over there, just not having his son. So I think overall, some of what we saw with Deari Gray was just, I don't think in his professional life he was really and truly where he wanted to be, and I think we saw that play out on the pitch with some of his performances. I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people were making out to be in terms of how bad people were saying he was playing for Jamaica throughout some of the more recent times. But I will say that, he set the bar very, very high for what he was going to do with Jamaica. And he hasn't really been able to hit those heights consistently enough for me, just being honest. So my hope is that this move to Birmingham will, help him to get back on track in terms of his output for the Reggae Boys. I don't know if you guys agree with that for me, but I think that Deari Gray going back to England, getting his home life, his personal life back on track, that will just bleed into his football. And I do feel like it's a good move for him, especially going to a club where I think they'll be maybe not building the team around him, but he'll be definitely a very, very important figure, which I think is good because when he plays for Jamaica, I want him to take on more responsibility as well. So maybe playing with that added responsibility in that Birmingham City team, he'll be able to translate some of that to when he plays for the Reggae Boys and take on a more leadership type of role, putting in a bit more effort, making sure that he realizes how important his body language is on the pitch when he's dealing with our team. So I think all of those things will help. And definitely just with his sharpness altogether, his fitness, that championship grind is no joke. So, my hope is he'll be well and truly ready for that September window after going through that grueling first month in the championship. Because they get started right around the start of August. So I think it's a great move. Definitely, when you look at it through the lens of a Jamaica Reggae Boys fan, you want your players to be as sharp as possible, and I feel like this will give him a big chance to get sharp. So I like that one a lot. I don't really see any issues with it either. I'm okay with the fact that it's a championship club, not a Premier League club. I think for him right now, it's all about games. And, you don't play more games anywhere than in the damn championship. They play like every day. So their first matchup of the season will be Friday, August the 8th. Interestingly, they will be playing Ipswich. And as of right now, he'll be facing Omari Hutchinson. But we have some news that he might be on the move as well, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So Deari Gray, going back to his boyhood club, I like the move. Think it's great for him, his continuity, him getting gameplay, game time, everything about the move I like. Him being a leader in that team now, hoping that will help him become more of a leader in the Jamaica team as well. Not just by what he does on the pitch, but even, being more vocal with everybody and things of that nature. I just want him to be more engaged. I think one of the things that we look at Deari Gray as a fan and we say is, sometimes his body language doesn't come off the best. So hopefully, he being around a team like Birmingham City, who I'm sure they'll have a lot of players amongst their ranks coming to him for advice, things of that nature, he can get more practice with that type of stuff. Because I wanted to take on more of that type of role and know that, yeah, you're one of the senior guys in the team. You got to show it, Well, Boza played 72. Yes, I saw that. He's not a player on the move, but I did watch that. I watched the first half in full, and then I watched maybe the first 15 minutes of the second half. So I didn't watch it all the way up until he came off the pitch. But for me, a couple times he had some decent peel off the defender, and they never found him over the top with a ball. Other times he made a decent run into the channel and maybe just wasn't seen or just chose not to give him. Remember, Mora had a chance to give him one, but took a shot instead. But for me, it's like I want him to be more comfortable dropping off and getting involved. Maybe it's the coach telling him to just stay on the line, but he just doesn't get involved enough because he doesn't get many touches. But yeah. Drury still out on the move. Okay, he's talking about King. They gave a big chance, but I don't consider it a big chance. Miss header from almost top of the box. Oh, he said they gave a big chance, miss, but I don't consider it a big. Okay. I think that's a good move for them. He can get some confidence and playing competitive. Yep. Did Deari complete his obligation with his Saudi team? I don't think so. I think he still had like a year left when he left. I think. Either that or him just terminate it. Them like mutually decide to terminate it. I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure real ball. I will find out though. Good move for them. He needed this. Yeah, I agree. But Bala Leon Bailey to Turkey. Yeah, maybe. That's a rumor we're going to talk about. Gray's move is great, says Duckland. I know he won't be compensated at Birmingham as he was in Saudi. Well, that is a fact. And I think he has just realized that maybe peace of mind is worth something too, because I don't think he was ever fully settled over there. Leona play at Harry FC. We will see as the season progresses. The ballers have to adjust, then it will be okay. Yep. They say they are starting 100 million upgrade on the stadium next month. How does that affect us in September? That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. It's perfect for Jamaica. Then my body language is terrible. If the man don't see the ball 2 times downfield, he starts to pout. Yeah, it's a habit of attackers sometimes that goes too far sometimes, But I'm not even talking about when him don't get the ball. I'm just talking period. Like him just have a demeanor like, it is what it is. Like when you see him running and sprinting, so I don't think he's not trying, but just his body language. And he's always had that body language, from Everton, from ever since. He's always had that demeanor. But I think now that you're a senior player, certain things that maybe you wouldn't care about before, you have to start to think about, like, how am I being seen by my teammates who are, kind of looking for me to lead them at times, Rob Smith sound like some man need their cut out of the stadium upgrade before. But I said, it have something to do with when this damn thing gonna get called. Big up yourself, Jeremy Lee. Yeah, man, the amount of upgrade, brother. Just today, my father talked about that. Say this upgrade is not a new thing in terms of talking about it, Missed your analysis of the Chelsea game. Your thoughts on their effective use of the long ball or a long pass? Yeah, look, I thought they pretty much had a trigger for the long pass, and their trigger was the minute Mendes is not back, we're going to go over the top. Because they knew that on that left-hand side of the centre-back pairing, Pacho is like a beast compared to Lucas Beraldo, who started, the Brazilian. The Brazilian don't like running in space and defending at all. So they just were isolating him wide for the most part, making sure that he get overloaded, whether it's Gusto and Palmer or João Pedro and Palmer or João Pedro and Gusto. They always had them outnumbered on that side, and it was forcing Beraldo to have to defend people in space. And it was a big, big issue. If you notice, the two goals where my boy scored, actually, all the three goals basically came from that inside left of PSG defense channel. The run cross behind Beraldo by Pedro for the third goal. The second goal, and then one of them was kind of a mistake caused it. But yeah, everything came from that area of the pitch, right there where Pacho wasn't. So yeah, I think it was the game plan was great, and they were willing to press, but they were also willing to when they won the ball, if the long ball wasn't on or the long pass, they were willing to try to possess against PSG as well, which I think what did the difference. They forced PSG to chase them some, and they didn't really take risk. So if it never looked right, they just went long. So they just played the game smart. Yeah, man. Bless up float. What go on? Yeah, man. Respect for the check-in. They bought it out, I think, 8 million or something like that. Okay. Bailey cannot manage Turkey life. The Muslim countries don't play. Big up Conrad. Hope all is well. Yeah, man. Tell them to remember, man. You can't forget them thing. They can't have a bag of girl, liquor, and party lifestyle. Saudi worse. Yeah, so somebody asked me a question not too long, and they must say, if me think what happened with Bailey going to affect his ability to move. And I said, well, it depends where he was planning to move, because I do think that some of them Arab countries might, have an issue with that being out there in the public like that, No, I don't think it will affect him too much in like mainland Europe, because, I just think it's a slightly different thought process and stuff. I don't think the clubs will look at that so much. But yeah, the Arab world, it could be a big problem for real. Bailey not gonna have any Muslim fans, if that's what you say. No, I don't think anytime soon. All right, so that was Demi. Let's move on to the next player that was on the move that I want to talk about. Another player who represents the country already. Not quite as many caps as Demi and Richard King, but another player who made a move. And let me see if I can find an article that will tell us about it. See if anybody can guess. Who is the next player that I'm going to talk about who has made a move? All right, so here's an article from the Shropshire Star, because the Al Sharjah club, I don't think I'll be able to understand the language, and I've just given it away, people. The next player I'm going to talk about that has made a move before this crucial September window is ex-West Brom loanee, ex-Everton player, Mason Holgate. So Mason Holgate made his move to Qatari Pro League, or Stars League, I should say, side Al Gharafa. Now, Al Gharafa I think they finished third last season, but the 28-year-old is poised to leave Everton on a free after a decade-long stay at Goodison Park. Wow, he was there that long. Holgate had 2 loan spells at West Brom in 2019 and last season, respectively. He scored once in 23 appearances during his first stint and netted once in 27 outings at the Hawthorns last term. Jamaica International will team up with former Real Madrid striker Joselu in the Middle East. Ex-Albion striker Andy Carroll has also made a shock summer switch to Dagenham and Redbridge. Damn, this man is still playing in the National League. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on this article. Let me find another one that I wanted to look at. That was a little bit better than that one. Let me find it again. But people, I'll just start telling you about what I think about this move. So far of the 3 moves, this is probably the one that I dislike out of all. I had no issue really with the other 2 I've talked about, but this particular one, I don't love the move, and there's a few reasons for that. Now, the same reason why I didn't love, I love the fact that Damari left Saudi Arabia to come back. Is the same reason why I don't like this move for Mason, right? I just feel like, obviously, I'm not speaking of the standpoint of financial, right? Because I know that the footballer shelf life is not very long. Injuries happen, things happen. You have to maximize what you can earn, right? But again, with the timing of it, I feel like I don't love it because we know what's to come in the September window, and it is some crucial games. And not only September, but September, October, and November. Probably the 6 most important games in Jamaica's history of football, with the men's team at least, probably since the final games of the 98 World Cup campaign, to be honest. So with that being said, I just would hope that our players would be really and truly looking at how they can maximize being ready for those windows. And I know that for a lot of these players, they can't just think only about the Jamaican national team, but at the same time, yeah, man, we need our players to be as sharp as possible. And I just don't know if going to this Qatar Stars League at this present time is the best way to go about doing that, right? Now, to be fair, when you look at someone like Damian Low, I don't think that the Saudi Pro League has done anything bad for Damian Low. As a matter of fact, I think Damian Low has played really well since he's gone to the Saudi Pro League. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but Damian Low is also a world traveler already. Damian Low has been all over the place playing football. Now, to my knowledge, even though he's bounced around on loan from club to club to club to club, he's pretty much only played in the UK. So that whole, period of getting used to this place and all of that, that's going to have to happen very, very fast because, Al Harafa, they play their first match on August the 15th. So he'll have about 2 matches before, actually 3 matches, because they have a match on the 28th of August as well. Now, keep in mind that the first window is September the 1st, it starts. I know the game against Trinidad is on the 9th. I think that has come out now. So I would guess that the game is probably the 5th or the 6th against, let me see if it's already posted. So Mason Holgate potentially will have 3 games to play before having to get on a flight to potentially get into Jamaica on the 1st when the window starts. So yeah, I think the reasons why I don't love the move are twofold. One, I just worry that the time period to get used to the league and potentially be playing your best slows down immensely when you go to a new country. He doesn't have experience leaving where he's from to play football matches. So yeah, I just feel like I don't love the timing of the move. I wish he could have just secured a move somewhere in England. Perhaps he had offers, And, again, he has to think about his future and his family and everything. And I'm sure that factored into why he's gone. But I just hope that it doesn't backfire for him in terms of, the level of sharpness that he will have going into, that first window in September. But it's going to be tough, because as I said, it's just 3 games to play in that first part. I think the 15th, the 21st, and the 28th. And then you go into that first international window. And again, it was already a long enough trip to come from the UK. Now I think it's an even further trip. So, yeah, it doesn't get any easier to travel. And let's see how it goes. But I don't love this move selfishly for Jamaica reasons, Jamaica football team reasons. I really and truly feel like how he ended off the season with West Brom, I'm sure teams would have taken a chance on him. And the sad part is, I just don't think that they could compete financially with the offers that he would have gotten from this Qatar Stars League. A team in that league trying to get over the hump and get to the title. So, the good thing is he's going to one of the better teams there. The Qatar Stars League is not a dead league. They have some decent talent there. And I think he'll at least be sharp somewhat, but I just worry about it not happening soon enough for that first September window. But let's see. Don't think those countries care about their opening up their borders more and more because of sports. Oh, so you're saying the Saudi people won't give a damn. All right. Cool. Saudi man there. Goalkeeper. No, not the goalkeeper. Ravel, no. So Forever got it. I think because I did bust the team name, Al Harafa. You hear anything about Antonio? Not yet. Money are run. Up top, RR. Him just need to perform good. Bigger CV. Yeah. At least he playing ball. That is true. He played because of injuries last year. Wait a second. What are we talking about? He's going to have to adjust his style a bit like Low. At least his quick draw red card. Holgate was playing at West Brom. Good money move, but JFF not going to select him too far. Well, Nitro, I guess the only good thing is maybe they had a quota for Middle East flights and Deari gone and Mason gone now. So maybe Kim can still go in at the Middle East flight quota, So Steve McLaren and his staff going to mess it up. I am worried. Low just need Australia and South America to hit all continents. Yeah, man, the man play all over the place, man. If one person can tell you about going somewhere new and playing, it's him. I hope he get his tablets for school. Big up Jamrock. Hope all is well, my bro. All right, so that is Mesa Holgate. Of the 3 moves, that's the first one that I'll say I wasn't in love with. I don't love the move in terms of speaking only solely from the context of Jamaica Reggae Boys, right? A further trip, further away, a little bit of an acclimatization period, more than likely when you first get there. So again, we're trying to build to optimum sharpness for that first window. The hope is him can hit the ground running and play those 3 matches, 90 minutes, centre back, and just have a little bit of sharpness coming into the window. Because I do feel like he could potentially have a part to play in the squad. So yeah, that's Mason Holgate. Now, the next player is a player that has only made 1 appearance for the Reggae Boys, and that was in the Unity Cup off of the bench. Then we had a bit of a, I won't even call it a saga, but we had a lot of different reasons given as to why he was overlooked for the Gold Cup and the World Cup qualifiers and everything. Yeah, that player is Malik Muddasil. So Malik Muddasil made a move from one League One club to another. And I think that's what a lot of people were talking about when the move was made, kind of saying they don't understand it. Why would he move to a club in the same league when so many championship clubs were after his signature? Well, sometimes in football, when you're analyzing where you want to go, some people rank how much you're wanted by somewhere as the reason for what decision you would make. And I think that's exactly what Malik did here. So we're going to pull up the article on the website county smash transfer record for one of EFL's biggest talents. So that should show you right there what I was getting at, and I think there's a part of the reason, a big part of the reason why this is where he chose to continue his football career. Peterborough was willing to smash their transfer record to get this player in, and I think the project, the way it was sold to him, just gave him the assurances that maybe he couldn't get elsewhere. And I think, he probably prioritizes game time over, the league level or whatever the case is. He knows if he does his job, even in this league, his stock can still rise. So anyway, let me read the article. Stockport County is thrilled to announce the signing of Peterborough United forward Malik Madasil for an undisclosed fee. The Jamaica International becomes the club's new record signing, eclipsing the fee paid to Nottingham Forest for Ian Moore in 1998, with Malik signing a 3-year deal at Edgeley Park with the option for an additional year. The 21-year-old Giants, having just enjoyed a breakthrough season in League One, scoring 16 times and registering 10 assists in all competitions, helping Posh to retain the Virtu Trophy with victory against Birmingham City at Wembley. His performances over his 57 appearances saw him named as the club's Young Player of the Year. Prior to that, Mothersill was in Leyton Orient's academy before joining Chelsea as an under-16. He went on to become a scholar at Stamford Bridge, playing in the same squad as the likes of Omari Hutchinson, Lewis Hall, and Josh Acheampong during his time in their academy. He enjoyed success playing for the Blues U23 side in the EFL Trophy, registering 4 goals in 5 appearances during the 22-23 season, 2 of which came against his future side, Peterborough United. Having made the decision to leave Stamford Bridge in the summer of 2023, Posh manager Darren Ferguson moved quickly to bring the forward to the Western Home Stadium, describing him as a signing for the short, mid, and long term. He featured 33 times in his first season with the League One club, scoring 6 times in all competitions as Peterborough finished in the playoff places and won the Virtu Trophy, with Malik finding the back of the net in their quarterfinal and semi-final victories. His second year with the club was even more memorable for the young forward. Despite a challenging league campaign for the Posh, he formed the part of a fearsome front line alongside Kwame Poku and Ricky J. Jones, who have both moved on as well, hitting 16 goals in all comps, 12 of which came in League One. He also scored a crucial late goal in the club's Virtu Trophy semi-final away at Wrexham, sparking a comeback as his side came from 2-0 down to level before winning the tie on penalties. At Wembley, they became the first side ever to retain the competition, beating League One champions Birmingham City 2-0. So also capable of playing out wide or as a number 10, there was far more to his game than just goals last season, with only Jamie Donnelly of Leyton Orient registering more assists than his 9 in the league. Those performances saw him rewarded with a first call-up to the Jamaican national team by Steve McLaren in May, making his debut for the Reggae Boys in their Unity Cup final against Nigeria. Interest in the forward was high this summer, with County beating several championship clubs to his signature. Malik will train with Dave Challoner's side for the first time this afternoon as preseason preparations ramp up ahead of next week's trip to San Pedro del Pinatar. County CEO added, "We are delighted to welcome Malik to the club as he joins us for the next phase of our journey. He's rightly seen as one of the most exciting young players in the EFL, and we believe we are getting him at exactly the right time for him to become the prolific player we know he can be. The clubs competing for his signing show the company that County is starting to keep, and with the backing and support of many people, we've managed to get the deal done. We're very excited that Malik will now be a County player." The manager, Dave Challoner, said attracting Malik to the club is a massive positive. He was a player that was on our list, but we thought that not reaching the championship last season may have scuppered any hopes we had. This represents a big investment from the club into what we feel is one of the brightest prospects in the EFL. He had a breakout season at Peterborough last season with the amount of games he played and the goals and goal involvements that he had. And with Tanto moving on, it was imperative that we replace those goals and the penetrating pace in behind defenses. Malik will absolutely do that, be that from a wide, central, or slightly deeper area. At 21, he has huge potential, and we are delighted that he's chosen us to be the next step in his career. It's important we get him integrated as quickly as possible and amongst the group to give him the best chance to show the best version of himself from day one. So basically, a lot said there in the article. The coach saying, he can help us in basically all 4 slots up front, a little deeper than the striker. The striker itself, left or right flank, right? So the versatility there, and also a key part and part of the reason why I think he's going there. You know, like I said, the project clearly they have ambitions to get up in the leagues. They're going against championship clubs, going for players. Also, Tanto, who was their talisman last season, he moved on. So yeah, I think that's a part of the reason why he would have come. They probably sold it to him like, look, we lost this player who was like our linchpin last year, and we want to bring in a player to replace that player. So I just feel like I said, they sold him. They sold him something, and he definitely agreed. He agreed with it. So, but yeah, Stockport County. Interestingly enough, he won't be the only Jamaican there. So there's obviously Che Gardner, Ricardo Gardner's son, who actually scored a goal in the first friendly of the season for them, or the preseason. He scored the winner in the 89th minute, beating Bristol Rovers. So big ups to Che Gardner. Malik Madasil also played in that game. He ended up playing the entire game as well. So yeah, he came into the team and got right into the action, did Malik Madasil. And also, not only do they have Madasil, as well as Madasil, last year they acquired Corey Adai. So potentially 3 Jamaicans. I don't know. I think Adai still has some issues with his whole process. Not sure exactly what the issue is, but yeah, he's a player that was named in our provisional Gold Cup squad for the 2023 Gold Cup. Not named in this most recent one, and not called up since, I believe he would have represented Jamaica in an unofficial game. I want to say that was the Catalonia game that we would have seen him in. It was either that game, I think it was that game, because either that game or did he play the Japan game? I'm trying to remember, which game did Adai play, or did he play when we played in Africa against it wasn't Ghana. Who did we play in Africa? Yeah, let me try to find it. Okay, so he was in the Catalonia trip. So that's when we would have seen him for Jamaica in that one game. Yeah, but he definitely was one of the better keepers in League One last year. Still, what is he? 27 years of age now, 6'8", giant of a goalkeeper. So yeah, potentially, definitely 2, potentially 3 Jamaicans in this Stockport County team currently. And like I said, I think Mothersill is coming in. He played kind of deeper in the midfield, right? In the first game. But let's see where he's used throughout the season. The coach seems to think that he has bags of versatility. So let's see where he ends up moving forward. They have another friendly scheduled to be played on the 26th before they start their League One campaign on the 3rd of August. So, a lot of these championship League One players that we do have, they will have a couple of extra weeks in the tank in terms of match fitness, match sharpness than some of the higher league players like the Premier League players, and things of that nature. Even Scottish Premiership doesn't start until 2 weeks after. So that's something to watch as well for the players who would have had a little more games in their legs by the time this window comes around. But Malik Madasil, look, I'm going to be honest. The move, staying in League One for me, underwhelming. I was expecting him to make the jump to the championship for the season. But again, the positives for me is he's going to a situation where it looks like the coach is going to put a lot of faith in him, right? He's going to really be utilizing all his skill sets. You hear him talk about the player, where he sees him, in a few different positions. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of split about this one overall. Like, I do feel like one thing that I will say about Madasil, he always backs himself with these moves. So he might make moves that people don't understand at the beginning. Like, people couldn't understand why he wouldn't stay at Chelsea and try to continue to work his way up. He bet on himself to go somewhere else and create enough of a name that he could continue to make moves. And I think, the trajectory of the player clearly is above League One. I think everybody knows that. But I think for him, he's just saying, look, I can continue to make a name, put up numbers. Now that he's done what he did last season in League One in a struggling Peterborough team, coming to a Stockport team that clearly is a lot further along in their pursuit for another jump up in the leagues. Yeah, if he can put the same or more output this season, then those championship links that we're seeing could turn into even the league above it. So, look, I'm like I said, I was expecting the move up to the championship based on what his performances were last year. But at the same time, if none of those projects were looking as fruitful for you personally as a player, I can understand you choosing to make that more lateral move to just another club in that same league. Because League One ain't no bad level. Don't let nobody fool you. So, um, while I would have loved, to see him go up a level in the championship or something, um, I don't think that this move to Stockport will be permanent unless, in terms of 5-6 years at Stockport, unless they do what they want to do, and that is move up to the championship next year. Then who knows? Maybe he sticks with it and tries to get them up even further. But for me, a bit split. Like the fact that he went to a club he's wanted. I think he's going to get a lot of game time, play a lot. But I don't love the fact that he's still in League One. That is the facts of the matter, right? So let's see. So where's Leon going? RIP PSG, man. Tell of course, do we have Jamaicans playing in the Brazil League? Nitro, I don't think so, not to my knowledge. Blessings. Maybe in the lower Brazil league, but I don't think we have any in Serie A. The Brasileirao. Our CV pool used to be a strength, but it's becoming a bit worrying. Bernard might need time. Pinnock probably won't be playing. King might need time to adjust. Lati was out of favor last year. Yeah. I mean, really the only ones that were playing consistently into the summer was Holgate, Low, and King playing at Cavalier, of all the players that were in the pool for this summer window. So yeah, Bernard out hurts. I think he would be in the pecking order as well. So let's see. Madasil is too comfortable in League One. He getting a better deal. They promise him game time and they have big plans. Yeah, exactly. The player was trying to sign for a championship club. It just doesn't work out because of the money. Yep. Jason, please tell the people them that League One is bigger than our semi-pro league in Jamaica. Yeah, I hear a narrative that the League One and JPL is very similar. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. Or some people are chat about what they don't know. I don't know. Jamrock, I don't know. Big up Marlon. Hope all is well with you and the family. And the fans at Peterborough was mad at Mothersill, so I don't think that he's comfortable there with the fans. Yeah, he had a rift with them. He basically worked his way out of that by scoring a bag of goals and assisting a bag of goals, and they couldn't really upset with him anymore. Where Che Gardner was born, I believe Che was born in Bolton, Pretty sure Che was born in Bolton. Yeah, pretty sure Che was born in Bolton during Bibi's career, but let me make sure. Double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure he was. That's not what I want. I want this. Yeah, it says his citizenship is English, which I know is not the end all be all of everything, but um, everybody else always have them place of birth, but this man don't have it. It's like baby no saying no and nobody look it up. But yeah, it's not saying on here, but I'm almost certain that I know that he's born there. Check God now. Yeah, man. Check. Score a goal, brother. There's also another potential Jamaica at Stockport. Yeah, which one of them? Because I just the three me didn't know about, But no, sir. Whenever you know about three, there's probably two more you don't know about. I just so the Jamaican ball of them operate. Alright, let's see. So is it Kyle Wooten? Is it Jaden Fevrier? He have a French last name, so more than likely he have a different link. Odin Bailey. Got to be you. You're 25 years old. Well, it don't got to be you, but that's a candidate. All of them, brother, look like them African, if anything. And then Korea die. So yeah, I would get my guesses would be Odin Bailey and Kyle Wooten. Both of them look like them potentially could be. But right now, when you look on transfer market, sofa score, I just Madasil and Korea die mark, so which I know is not, that don't matter either. But yeah, we need Korea die in the World Cup qualifying squad. Yeah, I think I see two keepers that I would put in the squad right now. And here's another one, Jaden Hibbert. Yeah, man, Jaden Hibbert. Look, I don't know if he's gonna be the number one moving forward, but the last game he started, Brad Guzan was on the bench, so maybe they've just figured that it's time to go ahead and move on from Guzan. I mean, Guzan is about 5 million years old at this point. And sure, it's 2 games in play. I thought it was just one. I think that game was his first start ever. So yeah, that was his first game ever in the MLS. And in that game against Toronto, which ended 1-1, he did have Brad Guzan on the bench. So to my knowledge, Brad Guzan never missed no game before that. He been playing, and then was just benched against Toronto. So I don't know if it's a niggle that him pick up and it was a forced selection, but I don't see anything suggesting that he's injured. So yeah, I think the coach just try a next one. Yeah, born in England. So I thought Madison is not the best as a cam striker. He's not the best as a cam striker or left wing is his best position. Well, Jamrock, you say that, but a lot of his damage came from cam last season. So I don't know. I do think that he looks better from the left wing though than any other position, to me personally. Game time is very important. Malik, not a bad move. I don't think it's great level either. We shouldn't have too many players in League One. Okay, so Rob is not with the League One stuff. I'm saying we should limit the players there. League One is above the JPL, USL, and some MLS teams. Ravel has a B coaching license. Does he? Hibbert started one. Yeah, it's one game. It's one game. Yo. And both Holgate and Low was injured in the Gold Cup. Yep, that is true. Don't run down huge contracts and sit on the bench for the entire season, for real. The league to compare is hard. One of more money and better infrastructure. Yeah, and when you're factoring in league level, you have to factor that in as well. We can't just remove that and try to say, no, but when you watch the man them play, it look the same, and look how the man moving in the league there. Remember, the systems where you're going up against week to week, not as well, let me not say that. Maybe the coach them want them to play some very advanced systems, but when you watch the game, it don't look very advanced. The gameplay is so slow in the JPL. People are always saying how our players are so fast. They only play fast for if it's a 90-minute game, I would say about 20 other minutes fast. So many times in the JPL is a crawling pace. And that to me is the big difference. In the League One, you're challenged more at pace. The reaction time has to be faster. You close down faster. All of those things they're happening faster. Jason, what do you think about Bosa's first game? Well, BM, I watched it, and I think Bosa's still trying to figure out how he should play amongst the other players they've been playing with. because him want to run in behind, but the man them don't really play the ball in behind so much. And he's like reluctant to drop into the little pockets and play with people. So it's, to me, the game kind of bypassing him a lot. Like him getting into positions and them crossing him the ball and thing, but it getting cut out. And I just don't think him involve himself enough in the gameplay other than when him in the box. Because I don't think he's like a Haaland type dude. Like him have to kind of be involved to get into the game. And I just don't see him doing that enough. Maybe the coach telling him don't do that, stay on the last line, maybe. Which is possible. But yeah, I just don't feel like, maybe in a way to it look like some of his teammates don't trust him enough, because he could have get certain ball and him not get them. So I wasn't overly impressed. I wish he could get more involved. I will say he looked fit though, like he was running around just fine. He never looked slow or anything like that, which is good. But yeah, with him, I just think he needs some confidence, man. I hope the coach persists with him though, and let him start some games and don't bench him after that performance. I don't think he was terrible. I just don't think he was enough involved in the game. And I would say that leads to better quality in some instances. Okay. Stay strong, Mikel Antonio. RIP, mom. Yeah, sad news that. Sad news that, man. Damn. Semi-pro league. Peterborough sold 4 of their best players. Why should Mothersill waste his time there? Yeah, man, he should have left there. It's clearly them did have a max exodus and them say, yo, we're just going to save money. But there are players in the JPL that I can say, watching them play for Jamaica, they better in the gameplay. We'll give an example if you ask. Okay. Well, you don't have to give me an example. I know those players because they get picked. So, you think that Warner Brown did more than like a Borrell, because that's a League One player and one is a JPL player playing striker. The cameos at the Unity Cup final, a lot of people were saying Busy show himself way more than Mothersill in that cameo time frame. So I know the examples that you would give, because with the evidence is in them getting selected. And like all things in football, we're not gonna agree on everything, which is fine. Yep. I need you to ask the coach what about Korea die. Yeah, look. I think when it comes down to players and documentation, me personally not gonna ask the coach about it in public, because he had to be explained about the whole citizenship and passport and all this stuff. So I will direct those questions, if I am asking them publicly, to the press officer himself, if he's available to answer a question, or privately, because I can reach out to him privately as well. So yeah, I think due to some of the answers I've received when asking the coach about things like that, it might be doing more harm than helping, to be honest. Our JPL about 13 in our region. Damn, Korea die coming on Jamaica bench. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he should start, but I think Hibbert and Adai right now are better options than the 2 players that have that are backing up Blake now. You know what I mean? Hibbert has played 1 game. He played Friday in the MLS Next Pro. Yeah, he did. Hibbert was brought in by Atlanta with the aim of him becoming the number 1 eventually. I had one say, late to the party, to add to the musings, our local pitches are holding us back. Was watching a JWPL match on Saturday and field was so hurried. The ball control was severely impacted. Ravel Morrison has obtained a UEFA B coaching license. So well done to Ravel Morrison. Suppose Mothersill thinks he want to learn more and can play more games, and that's why he chose this club. Could be that, for sure. Holgate made a good move. He could be playing in the AFC League once they win the playoffs game. Okay, fair enough. My take on that being a bad move was selfish towards that's a lie, Jason. Some games in the JPL is really fast. No, sir. Not in the scheme of like a fast game around the world. No JPL game not fast, brother. None of them. None of them not fast. You saw Chelsea playing PSG. That's a fast game. You saw Mexico playing USA in the final of the Gold Cup. That's a fast game. JPL game no look so. No time. The man them not have enough fitness for play so. Or at least them look like them not have enough fitness for play so. Maybe they do, but they don't show it. Korea Die coming on the bench, we only want to have the best quality players in depth, not JPL goalkeeper that is not good enough to be in our national team. Damn. When the games are playing on good surface. Okay, so you're saying that the surface slow down the ball game. Well, whatever slow it down, unseen, it slow down. Yeah, it's not. Man, it is not. It is not. Boza had a good chance, but didn't score. He better get going quick before Zuniga returns. Is he injured? I don't. Them still have Zuniga? No, but Zuniga only play on the wing, man. I know Adonis him name. Oh no, a Raul. Yeah, what happened to for real? What happened to him? Him injured? Let me see. He wasn't on the bench either. I mean, I wonder where him gone. Well, him still listed as a player on the team. But yeah. So they have Club America this week, so big match that. Because anytime Andre Blake is not performing, we have a quality goalkeeper ready to take his game. Facts. If Boza ever score a brace in a game, his confidence max. Yeah, man, Boza is definitely a confidence player. Jamar Calvin to St. Mirren with Richard King. Well, I did hear that there's at least one more player. Yeah, there's one more player I heard on the move from Cavalier. I'm not sure who it is. Bad with bad coming with that now. Unseen say a lie. If just a start a rumor unseen, your style. Going forward, if we don't do the right thing and put players in a national team that is not good enough, it will be the same result as what recently happened in the Gold Cup, says Jamra. Jason the Kitty and bag up the Farmers League like grocery, proper funeral. Jamaica football diary story. You see it post, check it out now. Okay. Not sure if Ibert is ahead of weight. I mean, I'm a levels guy, so I'm predominantly playing championship, which I think is above MLS Next Pro. And maybe one game is too small of a sample size, but I think the upside of Hibbert, man, cannot be understated. So yeah, I mean, even if Hibbert isn't the second string yet, I think he should be that third string. You know what I'm saying? I said snail pace. All right. Snail rough then. Let me say, like, all right, when you have like a track meet and you have the 100 meter, well, our ball game is more like the 100 meter masters them. So they're not slow, but they're just not fast like the fastest people them. If you get what I say. Snail pace kinda rough still for you. Cavaliers show the world that Jamaican teams can play at a high pace. Nonsense unseen. Which high pace? Cavalier never pressed Inter Miami. Cavalier sit back and counter, brother. You don't need to play at no pace for do that. Come here, yo. You on Speid with this madness. Speid, I say him go and play Inter Miami with no fear. No, what am I talk about? The man drop back, get in him shape. Yes, he did have him front three and Allen high. But the man have the rest of the team behind the whole place, brother. And I keep everything in front of them just to see him. And then him transition when he win the ball. So you can't rest your case. Because just because Pete say it, no mean not true, boss. Come hear him say it on the SportsMax interview, they play them with no fear and this and that. And brother, tap your nice. It looks like Zuniga went to Club America. Really? So that must have just happened then because the man still listed as a Tijuana player. And them just not catch up yet. That's a squad. Yeah, man, Raul Zuniga, brother. Let me see if it depends on something else. Hold on. Check it now. Jono, you're right, bro. Man, them scoop him up, star. The man scored too much goal over Tijuana. Man, them say, who you, brother? Forward over the big dog place. Wow. So them are going to play him whole team in them first game. Yeah, it just happened yesterday. Blow. So that makes sense why Zuniga never even did on the bench. 2.5 million. Brother, them just buy the man in a January, you know. And I sell it back in a July already, you know. Make a nice 700,000 profit on it. Wow. So you see it? If Bowser do him would have moved, go on a bigger club, them already. So the man them scoop up Zuniga quick and fast. Damn. Yeah man, you're right. BM him gone. Him gone. It don't update and so for score but transfer market of it. Yes, Dixon got a start in the preseason game. Yes, he did. I think he played 90 minutes as well. I don't think McLaren trust weight. Boy, to be honest, you know, I kind of lose my trust in a weight as well, you know. You see that window, the World Cup qualifying window before Copa America, and even in the Copa America. We lose trust in him, man. Good shot stopper, you know. But man, in decision making off him line, poor brother. Don't kick the ball over the top. Make him have to decide to run out or stay on him line. The man kill himself with them there. Enough about 4 different games. See, make mistake with them thing there. Them better grab Hibbert before Canada make use of him. Remember him have Canada heritage and all that now. I know people don't like when we say don't cap nobody so that them don't go nowhere else. But brother, why we mustn't do it and everybody else do it? JPL ballers lack ball control and passing poor. Most of the teams embrace long passes. Football can be so unpredictable at times. I still don't think that Chelsea FC is better than PSG. Yeah, they were just better on the day. I mean, if them play 5 more times, maybe Chelsea don't win, maybe but 1 more of them again, and the other team win the other 4. But it was their day, and they had a good plan, and they executed. And PSG wasn't good enough. You know, their players weren't as sharp as normal. Yes, part of it was Chelsea, but even them just never have it. They weren't clicking like normal. Ibert strength passing and shot stopping and commanding. Excellent reflexes. Yeah, he's a modern goalkeeper. Looks very sharp with his feet. You can ping the ball back to him and get it, pass it off, you know. The intelligence not showing in most matches. Unseen as usual, always attack a lot of nonsense. Upside correct, but Wade has proven to be competent. Yeah, look, I'm not saying he's incompetent, and I don't think Wade should be dropped from the team altogether. I just think Hibbert should be in the pool of 3, for sure. Something is wrong with how you view football, Jason Gooner, but it's not your fault. You're not a coach, you're a blogger. Well, Unseen, that's your opinion, okay? And I'll have you know that I am a coach and I am a blogger, just like you. So while I might not be in the world-renowned JFF coaching school, I happen to be acquiring my US soccer badges currently. Okay, so I don't judge you. I only judge you based on what you've told me Unseen. So I know you to be a coach, and I see you doing YouTube. So don't assume that I don't do things that I actually do. All right. If you don't know something, you can always ask. I think that Chelsea has a more physical midfield than PSG. Yeah, I would say so. I think Vitinha is not physical at all. He just uses positioning and brains to play midfield. Neves is more physical, but he's not very imposing physically. And Ruiz is probably the most imposing physically, but he's probably a little more aggressive than, say, Vitinha. You know, so it's not really that what they use. And and Chelsea did flex their muscle in midfield yesterday. But I think the key with Chelsea was they weren't just there to bad them up and bully them. They also played their football. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, exactly, and that's fine. play. Just don't describe to me what you did as playing with no fear, because that ain't really what it was. You know what I'm saying? Unseen, come on now. No allow unseen, man. Bowser needs to take his opportunity. Yeah, he should, because right now, nothing in him way if start. So he need for just do him need for do. Well, that's good for Bowser. Yeah, very good for Bowser. Bowser has a great opportunity now to get going. No excuses, facts. Unseen, I don't have any coaching license, and I promise you that if I get a chance to prepare a team to play against you, I would beat you with your real. Jamrock, how you know that? The blindness that you guys have is unbelievable, and it's not just that you guys don't understand, it's the belief that killing you guys from learning. Wow. Unseen, the hilarious part is that way I just said, people would have looked upon you and said the same thing to you. Is the belief that you have killing you from really learning. Wow, it's crazy that you said that statement. Because people could say that to you. Bless up DJ Gigs, man, I did with laugh from early. Unseen, Jamaica football not reach nowhere yet, me G. Don't rush the process, make it take time. No club at Jamaica can match up technically, maybe physically, but not technically. All right, so let me move on, people, because I spend a lot of time on the players on this, which I never realized is so much time gone already, almost 2 hours. All right, so look, because I don't want to shortchange anything as far as what Mr. Semo was going to give you, because I only have about, I'd say, 25, 30 minutes tops, let me go right into the coaching education. Let me go right into the coaching education conversation. So, Rudolph Speid appeared on SportsMax. I believe it was maybe last week. I don't think it's been 2 weeks yet. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on some of the things that I heard. I just want to share my thoughts on some of the things that I heard. I want to just listen to one part in particular. I'm not going to play it because, SportsMax might be in their final days looking to make some money or bother some people. So I won't play them audio or them video. But I do, okay, it was 10 days ago. Okay, so let's see. All right, let me see here. I can fix the Reggae Boys midfield problem, and no JPL player would be in the midfield. Cole 2 goals were near identical. How much corn and peas do you have to plant him to get caught out like that? Jason Gooner will beat you really bad. I meant no disrespect. I think anybody who doing the coaching license will know that football is about moments. It's hard to debate you in this chat. Okay. So you want to call in then? You can call in, If you want to have a debate right now about whatever you want to debate about, that's fine. No, nobody not buying them as far as I know. So JPL is not part of Jamaica midfield problem. Yeah, by extension, yeah. We can't find no ball in the JPL to put in the midfield. Yeah, man, I don't take football talking as disrespect either, to be honest. Javari, why? I don't not even know what to say. I said, don't waste my time. Yeah, man, you know my style. I like to just run the program most of the time and I really take the call and just make the people them hear my voice. Because I haven't been really in the YouTube space on many channels lately, kind of giving opinions, So I just want to get through what I have to get through. But now I'll get to the passport part. So I'll have a show about that probably either tomorrow or the next day, where I kind of break down what I took from that whole conversation on I Am Sure Sports and my thoughts on it. But I'm going to close the show out with the coaching education conversation. So, first thing, right? Rudolph Speid was talking about, where he would like the pro coaching thing to be, and basically a timeline for where they want to be. So basically, he was saying by 2030, he would love to have in place, right? He would love to have in place the the number of pro coaches that we could enable us to really hone in on a style of play for the Jamaica football teams, whether it's youth teams, women's, boys, girls, men, women, right? And he said the reason why it's so hard to achieve that currently is because when you look at the makeup of the coaches, let's say on the male side, he said the U14 was someone, a Jamaican, I think it was. The U15 is another Jamaican. Then the U17, the way what Speid said was it was an American, which I don't know why he would say that. It's a Jamaican man who played for Jamaica, who lives in the States now, Mr. Freddie Butler. So I don't know why him say it's an American coach. Maybe because he was educated as an American coach. I don't know. Maybe that's why he used that term, but I thought that was kind of strange. Then he said the U20 was coached by a Swedish guy, which in reality it was, but then he got let go, and the main tournament was a Jamaica coach, right? So if you're following me, people, that's the U14, the U15, the U17, and the U20, all Jamaicans. So this whole thing about, we don't have the coaches with the requisite knowledge to coach the teams now, that's why we're waiting till 2030, is a big crack of garbage, because it's all Jamaican coaches coach the damn team them. So I don't know, we might try fool. Before the American U17 coach, it was a Jamaican U17 coach, Mr. Marion Garden. Before and after the U20 Swedish coach, it was a Jamaican Fuzzy Gill, and it was a Jamaican Jerome Waite, right? So yeah, you can't treat me Mr. Speid. It's pure Jamaican a coach the damn team them, and you have the senior team coached by McLaren. Another thing that I don't buy for a second, Mr. Speid, is that if you have coaches from different nations or different nationalities, right? Coaching different ages, they can't sit amongst a round table and talk about a system of play for Jamaica and try to implement one. I don't buy that for a second. I don't think you have to wait until all the coach them forward from the same place to come up with a system that you want to implement from the age groups come right up. So I don't agree with that thought process that it can only be attained if it's all Jamaicans or all Americans or all Spaniards or all whatevers. A lot of club teams and even national teams in the world, they don't all have coaches from the same place in their staff, much less all the age groups being coached by one nation's coaches. I don't think that needs to happen. I think the part of this that he's kind of leaving out conveniently is when you look at the mandate of what a technical director is supposed to do for our nation's football, a part of it is to develop and implement a style of play that can be passed down to the various national teams. So why is it that we need coaches all from Jamaica to sit down and do what the TD is meant to do already? Is it because our TD doesn't do anything? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Right? But for me, that was one of the things that I must say I didn't agree with. I don't agree with the fact, or I don't agree that the coaches have to all be from the same place to, get to this system of play that we can try to implement amongst all the age groups. I don't think that that's true, right? And I think and the evidence of that is seen right throughout the world. I mean, let's say you're talking about so like UEFA has an initiative, right? UEFA being the arm of European football, right? And they say we are going to try to come up with a system of development for U8s. They're not going to go to a bunch of Swedish coaches and say, hey, all you coaches from Sweden, can you come up with this thing and present it to us? No, they're going to get the most brilliant minds from all the nations and tell them to have some symposium or some meetings or some kind of gatherings where they can gather data and come up with some kind of system to then present to UEFA, right? It's not going to be let's look at Sweden's plan, then look at Belgium's plan, then look at this plan, and we're going to pick the best one. No, they're going to come together and try to come up utilizing the best ideas from everywhere to come up with one plan. And something similar could happen amongst all our coaches as well. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I have learned a lot in doing my courses and also coaching normally. I would attack you, but I'm in a better place with my emotion. I'm way more intelligent than you. Wow. Okay, well that's some growth unseen. You know, have to fight every battle. That is good. I would give Pierre the under 17, says Rob Smith. Okay. Yeah, actually I have time for Andrew Pierre. I think when I hear him speak, to me he sounds a little different than some of the other coaches on the island, to be honest. So yeah, I have time for him. I just need to see him do it with I guess he's just more into the youth coaching. I did see him taking a bigger role with MBU towards the end of the season. Like saw him consulting with Tigat and the rest of the coaching staff numerous times in those games. So yeah, maybe one day he'll take on something like that more full time. But I know he's very busy with the coaching education. Also has a post with CONCACAF as well in that realm. So yeah, he's a busy guy. So maybe he don't want to overextend himself. Splat needs to get a call up so he can learn from Hayden as a more experienced CDM. That would be good. Locals holding on, not much going on for them these years. Football has changed over 20 years and we still try to beat the system. Well, our TD doesn't do anything. Yeah, Chile, that's the main problem. The TD isn't TD in. Our system presents like it's fabricated from vibes. Man. I tell you, wow, you would attack me just because I'm not qualified coach as yourself. I only want to challenge you in a football match and show you my tactical skills. Most countries don't go outside for their youth coaches. Yeah. Well, it depends. I think like some teams that might be developing, they might want to do that. But yeah, when you look at the likes of the more perennial powerhouses in the region, you're gonna see them typically have youth coaches from their countries. But sometimes, like a lot of the Central American teams, they'll get like a host of Mexican coaches, and they'll go right down the line. But yeah, for the most part, the youth coaches would be people from that particular island. He's coaching the U15. Yeah, I know you have that U15 team. That actually that tournament should be coming up soon. We need to do a show on that. These coaches have good coaches and have their licenses. Yeah. When I really need the measuring. I say, them a go too, them a deal it too much back and forth now. If our local coach is not making the cut, why should we use them for national youth coaches? A valid question there. You said you are more intelligent. Okay, and still a war each other. All right, me not bother highlighting no more. As Darren said, me for long no. You can go on war, but me not highlight it no more. All right. So yeah, that was one thing I thought stood out to me was that whole conversation about needing to get all the coaches on the same page, and we can't do that without all of them being from Jamaica. I don't buy that for a second. Um, there's another part of this that I really wanted to touch on. I couldn't find my notes today, so I had to kind of do it in real time now. Okay, this Okay, here's one thing that he said that I agreed with, right? So I love the fact that even though we're making all these strides in the coaching education, he made sure to stress that, because they were saying, all right, so by 2030, we should be good, right? Can get all the coaches in and have them coach all the age groups and blah, blah, blah. And he mentioned something that I thought was smart on his part to mention at that time. He said, well, 2030, but really and truly, more like 2034, right? And I think that's a more realistic thing, because not only do you want these coaches to acquire their license, but you also want them to implement these licenses over time, in their respective JPL seasons, their schoolboy, whatever they're coaching. You want to be able to implement whatever you've been taught, right? You can't just say, yes, I have attained the C license, the B license, the A license even, and you're not putting it into practice in any way, not getting real-time experience as a licensed coach. Because I think that's the other step that people maybe are missing in all of this. Just attaining the qualifications does not make you a coach worthy of these type of jobs. It's a first step. Yes, I agree. You have to have the qualifications to even get in the door, but I think you need to be putting those qualifications into practice regularly. And over time, you will improve as a coach. So I love that he was tempering that 2030 expectation and scaling it back a little bit to the more 2034. He mentioned that the model that they kind of looked at was Belgium. They were struggling a bit down to 60 out in the world, and then they revamped their coaching education, and now they're a perennial top 10 team. You know what I'm saying? In order to move to higher level, you must be practicing. Well, Ansi, I want to know how stringent they are about that. Like, what do they consider practicing? Like, what do they consider practicing? Like, is practicing just being at sessions with a team? Is practicing actually coaching a team? Are they satisfied with you being an assistant coach? Like, because for me, it makes no sense to get all these people A license. And do we have enough quality leagues to really? Do we have enough quality leagues? Then Unseen, you know, have my number, brother. Call me, man. Call me, Unseen. You have my number. Call me. But would I love to know, really and truly, like, what do they consider keeping the practice? You know what I'm saying? What do they consider that? Because to me, it's not enough to just be on a staff. Like, you need to be the head coach. Because if you're an A license or you're a B license coach, you need to be coaching as a damn head coach. But are there enough teams to go around to be getting them the requisite experience? Because there ain't that many top teams in Jamaica to coach. So when you have all of these licensed coaches with all of them, qualifications and things, and you don't have nowhere for them to coach, what's going on? What's going on? All right, unseen a call. So make-
Yes, you hear me?
yeah, man, big up yourself, unseen.
Yep.
Let me know from the comment section. Can you hear unseen? Just put a thumbs up. You should be hearing him loud and clear, but just let me know. All right, go on, talk, unseen.
Yeah, big up the people in the comment section. Everybody tune in on the podcast. Just make sure to like the stream, you understand? So getting some good information over here. Good debates.
Yeah, man. So what? You don't want to say something on the whole coaching topic, right?
Yeah, you are saying that coaches not supposed to just get the license and that's it. They should be practicing and be active, learning um on the ground. And that is one of the things that will help you to get into the bigger license. As remember when after you finish your B license, you have the A and you also have the hear feedback.
It should be good. I don't hear anything on my end.
Well, yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
Sound better. Yeah. So when you're doing the A license, when you're gonna be, you have to wait a year. Because when I finish my B, um, come December, after the only time I can do the A is the other year, and I must have some experienced coaching in a league to send into the coaching school to say that, hey, I was active coaching for this year and so on. You understand?
Yeah, okay. So my question was really towards what do they consider active coaching? Just being a member of the staff? Do you have to be a head coach? Like how that works?
I don't think you have to be a head coach. I think once you are coaching and you have the qualification to step up and you're coaching, I think they're okay with that.
Okay, so they're okay with you just being on a staff. Do they have any kind of requirement as far as the level? Can it be a corner league? Can it be Division 1?
No, you can't. No, the corner league, no, the corner league. You have to be at a certain level.
So what, like, so D1 in a parish would be fine as well?
Remember, so D1, all right, so what we can talk about now is the Premier League. So all the B-Lights Premier League coaches, you understand me, would get an
First
option on
choice.
the A-Lights first
Okay.
choice.
Okay.
Right? So those are the ones that they are looking forward to right now. So maybe if me and I get myself in a one Premier League setup, I won't be active in terms of getting to go and do my A-Lights. But I am a tier 2, so maybe.
Okay, so the fact that you are with a tier 2 team, right? So which tier 2 team will you be with this season?
I'm not sure. Anyone that can afford to pay me money.
Okay, so you feel so strongly, even though you haven't gotten a team as of now, that somebody will pick you up to be on them staff.
Well, I'm actually helping a team right now, in terms of a different part in terms of management.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does that help you in any way to get into the A class? What you're doing now?
I haven't finished my BS, so I don't know.
Okay, so this is our future stuff. So if all goes well, when will you attain the B?
January.
Okay.
Because if the exam finishing, you do a final practical at the grade in December. So maybe January, you know if you pass.
So in order to get into the B class, is there anything that the C level coach would have to be doing to have a better chance to get to the B, or is it not as important?
So let me explain now. So the C level is like high school, in a business house, the major league, the D1, and so forth. That's the C level. The B level is now the tier 2. C level can be an assistant, but you have to have a B now to be a head coach in the tier 2. Or in the course. That's where they're going right now. As you see for the Premier League, it's the B for assistant and A for head coach.
Right. Either have it or you're taking it now, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing now. They're trying to get it up. So maybe next season for the schoolboy league now, they're gonna go to
go from C to B.
They're going to the president and let him know, say, hey, as remember, they have a licensing system now. So even if you have your qualification, you must have your license to coach or to be actively coach. I don't know them going to police that, but I think maybe the administrators of each school or clubs will then look at, hey, what does this license have in it? What does this bring? And that's how we look at safeguarding. Do you want somebody around your child that can safeguard anything or protect anything?
Has not gone through the proper, education to know how to deal with kids and okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Also, police record. Is this person a criminal? Does he trouble children? Whatever. You understand? So these are some of the things coaches have to do right now to be coaching, and it's active now in the Premier League. You can't just get up and coach and now.
Well, that's
so
good.
It is active, And what I know that they will find you if you breach is thing at the Premier League level. It's not placed down at the bottom as yet, which I have a problem with, because this should have been I think will start from the grassroots come right up.
Yeah, you're so right about that, because a lot of the countries in Europe that have had big advancements in the last 20, 25 years, they started with educating the coaches at the youngest levels to the highest point. And that lend itself to them getting a foundation that was way better than all the players that came before them. So I agree with you that we have to be just as stringent with the younger ones as we are with the top league. Because them man in the Premier League, most of them, what they learn already, it can't unlearn for most of them, So really, the young ones now coming up, we have to try change how them learn the game and everything. I think that's where
man, it's a big issue. When the key ingredient, what the man overseas have over with? I want to tell you, and you can't blame the players. You have to blame. I would say that we missed the century when after we qualify for World Cup. I think the school, the education school, I think the person in charge at JFF at the time, or the technical director at the time, this should have been in place from them time. They should make René Simon leave Jamaica without starting a coaching school. That's when we make whatever. That was the biggest problem.
So there wasn't there a coaching school before?
I wouldn't call it a coaching school, because at the end of the day, you just learn a base science and book and then you test. You don't really know what about practical based on what I was told.
Okay.
This what they're doing now. If you can't coach better, you can't pass. Well, everything tied into everything. Because if you can't plan a session properly on the paper,
no matter how much league you win, you should be able to plan a session properly. So yeah.
Right. And you're supposed to can put it on paper for everybody see your coaching staff see it.
Yeah, well, how would you communicate it to your team if you can't do that?
Correct. You understand? But the mindset in Jamaica still, it's kind of difficult, because a lot of people still have the mindset of, someone does have paper, that's it. They want to coach. Brother, I'll get the papers, bro. So listen.
Yeah, no. Well, that is something where, we disagree whole heap of time, but we agree with that fully. I mean, get the certifications that can take you places, Don't just think, expand your horizon. You never know where your qualification them can take you, I mean, people always for me, obviously there's not enough money in the Jamaican football. So man have to have 4 or 5 different jobs. My aim is that we have so many damn coaches who are qualified that we can send some of them go coach overseas and make some good money. You know what I mean? And
yeah, but I think coaches in Jamaica have ambition, like we said, they have ambition, but I have to get the qualification before we can move.
No,
so we take time to do it.
But I mean, ambition is one thing, unseen, but you have to also say you have to live in a reality, because maybe the reason why you not go all in with the coaching is because it's not going to pay your bills.
No, in Jamaica, it's not going to do that.
Yeah, but remember, unseen, it's going to be very difficult to leave Jamaica even after you get the badge, if all you can show them is that you help out some management here and you train a couple youth here, and they're going to want to see who your damn coach at a high level. Somebody just warn you. You have to try to figure out a way to really get in one of them coaching staff and dead as a coach and stop the one bagger. Me help them this week, then go around so help them. No, brother. Make the sacrifice of your time and give it to a team so that they can see your plan session and still add them something there. That's my advice to you still.
No, but we don't know where you get this thing from about help them, really.
Honestly, anytime you ever ask about them something, you can never give me a straight answer, brother. You always tend to say, well, if you're part of the season, me there so, and then me go here so. I wonder how you move so much time.
Let me explain that. So, because come like, you know, somebody get wrong information or whatever. So, I am currently a teacher, right? That's my profession. I'm teaching. But I also coach at the youth level at my school, which is under 9, under 13. So, what I've done is to create a system where Mr. Meeks will coach the under 9 and I will coach the under 13. All right? So, he work with those youngsters and them send them to under 13 and then me work with them and send them out to high school. That's what I do every year. So I'm actually putting in the work at the grassroots. Yeah, and sending them out. Right? Now we also work at Lima the last time. So that's
and Coach Meeks is the head coach at Lima.
And Coach Meeks is the head coach at Lima, and I am the assistant.
Okay.
Right? Both of us plan our session and, you know, go over it, look at it, and put it together for the team.
So so not to cut you, but this coming season, will that be the same situation with Lima?
We are not sure. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, it's up in the air right now. Okay.
We're not sure because at the end of the day, you have to look at your expense.
Sure.
And look at what, you know, if it makes sense in terms of the long run. Because you can do something free, you know, but it doesn't make sense in the long run.
Well, look, me can't think for you, and me can't tell you what to do. But all I'm gonna say, on the outside looking in, it seems like obviously your teaching role and what you do with the school is better for you financially, which is great. That means you have a base. But me just have to say, in terms, remember, you know, all right, like I'll use the example of like Xavier Gilbert. Xavier Gilbert reached to a certain level in the coaching where he probably, is he still teaching full time?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that man they can do that, unseen, we don't have no excuse. That man they coach a million side and teach and still do everything.
Yeah, but you remember, I'm in a different system. I mean, one private system.
Okay, so theme coaching, theme teaching thing might be a little more. All right, so yeah.
No, things can't. Remember, you know, remember I'm up on national duty. So, you know, once them right can say, oh, Ray, the job can't hold him down because that's
right. So the level of the job that we have outside the main job,
right.
it holds some more weight. Well,
right.
Unseen.
So for me, you know, so for example, look, so my work finished 4:30, right? My job, I supposed to be at school 4:30. Cool. Even when we are coach, Lima, sometimes I could come out, let's go in until I know the next day a problem.
Okay. So you will sacrifice one thing for the next thing just to face problem and then the next thing the next day.
Yeah, we just find a way, we just, you know, freeze it out and use my brain and get shit.
Well, I think that's a part of the issue too. Clearly, there's not enough money in the football for people to focus on their jobs. And remember, when you are stretched too thin anywhere, all the places that may try to give you services lose out. So how much of these coaches even able to give them best because of how much things them doing at once?
Because the money, you have to look at it, you know, look at it this way. Apart from say,
well, like 3-4 clubs in the Premier League, not even so much, about 2.
Right. You understand me? Getting really, they can sit down and say, all right, you're a coach. And you're all right. Yeah? The other is a coach, I mean, they're a youth coach, and plus they're a Premier League coach, and 2 roles in play.
Yeah, but Anstine is, you know, funny about what you just said. Tapper, coach for one of the team there where that team no need no more job, right? He's not going to take up the Costa Cup job too?
Yeah, but he take up the Costa Cup job because he lost the job before. He lost the big job.
Okay, so this year, this year, he not go back.
No.
Okay.
He got to finish his contract.
Okay, so you never want to leave them with nothing. Okay, well that's admirable then.
No, but why you that? All right, why you that come in and come back, Jason? Look at this. You come back to the man in the fire, and he has cut off that food, that job. So suppose something go wrong again, and the man is
No. I am not saying he did anything wrong. I'm just getting clarity on the whole situation right now.
Yeah.
I could understand why he did it that way because I burn the bridge. They're not doing nothing wrong. I just,
Right.
That
football business.
That makes sense. All right, listen. So, may I have to ask you before you run away? Jason Gooner, please ask him to answer my question. So, your brethren Jamrock in the chat, and I have a question we want to ask. So, him said, in the past World Cup team, there was players selected that is not good enough to be in the national team. I want to ask you if this past World Cup team had any player selected that not good enough. I just want to hear your answer to that. I don't know why we know the answer to this, but I'm saying I want to hear your answer.
All right, so my answer to it is that I think the coach is blunder in terms of their objective. You understand me? I think this competition, Jason, should be used to look at other players that they would want to fill the gap in the World Cup qualifiers, such as the Deari Gray and those young players. They could, use them. As let's say USA do it, let's say other countries do it. Why Jamaica can have a system where we can have a team that we can bring in these competition to get valuable experience, and then we can look at them and say, all right, we're going to pick a terrorist camp now, come in with, if barely, we can put him in. So for me, I think them get some players where they live on him honeymoon, they're never interested to play the ball.
Fair enough. So to his direct question though, you don't think there were any players that shouldn't have been there?
When we look on some of the big name players and them not perform.
Okay, so if anything, you would have said some of the bigger players that were established more, maybe shouldn't have did it.
Them should have easy and just take them out of there, man.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you answer your question, boss.
And we start with this thing here where we start. We always look on who better than this and that and really. And then we just feel like say swapping a player or getting a player from somewhere else that we may think better go solve the issue. That's not salvation of football, right?
Yeah, well, look, I don't see any other way to have a debate about the national team without saying which player is better. I mean, that's basically what football is about, right? So I don't think we can run away from those conversations. This is a part.
I'm going to ask you a question about this. When you compare, now go back to when Jamaica played some group. And even then, when you compare some of the players in the 1998, 2000 coming up, and you compare them with the next conduct of teams and like the USA and the Mexico, we still fall short in terms of how you look for the players who's better. But at the end of the day, when the Jamaica team come together and play, they would have beat Mexico and put up a good fight better than what we're going now.
Well, look, I don't think that I will agree totally. And the only reason why I say that is this. Back in them times, there might have been more local players playing. Like, and when I say local, I mean like playing on the island representing Jamaica, right? And over time, it kind of gradually shifts because we start to export more players. So even the locals playing for Jamaica don't play in Jamaica anymore, right? And I think a lot of times people, when we have a bad result or when things don't go right, I hear this every time. Ever since 98 World Cup, when it come down to the final qualifying window, we just bring in all them money. But if you really analyze, the other day my virgin tell me, I'm sit down and study it from 2002, go back to 2022 qualifying cycle. I saying the ratio of players were born, placed, and local and everything is about the same throughout that entire time period. And there has never been no big spike in players coming. I don't know where we get this from. We don't do it. It's literally the same composition of players over the years. If you really check it deeply, is nothing has much changed with like the composition and the type of players we're using.
What
has changed? What has changed, Anthony, is the teams we play to get to the World Cup in this region all got better.
And we still
add to the same foolishness then.
Why?
So Panama, because they have put things in place to make fundamental change, not just change to personnel, not just change to coach, but they are putting things in place similar to what we're doing now with the coaching, similar to what we're doing now with the outreach, with the diaspora and things like that. We weren't doing these things in 2002, 2006, 2010 and coming right up. Now, we might not see the benefits of these things today, not even in this cycle, maybe not even in the next one. But if we keep the course of what we're doing now, trying to get the coaches more educated, trying to place more emphasis on the youth and grassroots, you know, trying to put systems in place, not just players in place, you know, or coaches in place, you know, systems in place. And that's how Panama has done. Find a system.
But you have to understand, you know, Jamaica have a serious problem. It's not only coaching, them talk about coaching. I mean, Speid that talk about, and all of them talk about them. Keep on telling them about coaches mean. You see, the manager, them brother, are who so-called administrator them a mash up all boys. Them a mash up football in Jamaica. Remember me tell that.
And that's why I think even though Speid said him still push back the time because they might push 2030 upon him. And he push back and I say no, 2034 more realistic. Him should I even look further because as you said, a lot of the progress we could have made faster. Them man the way that I talk about I just stop it. Them man the way I talk about I just stop the progress because them no want things change.
That's why I'm trying to say, you see the schoolboy football thing rough. It's good and it's bad. It a bit good and it a bit bad. The club system now, where the JF needs to try to organize development through from U9 come right up, not high school. High school is not or should not be the way to develop players in Jamaica.
Well, look, I said from time that dismantling that would be the best thing for football development. But I was told that, you know, in Jamaica, that's not going to be possible. It's too much entrenched and everything. But we have to figure something out, brother. Whether it's like I just can't stand the fact like Kyle Dixon. Did he need to win them cups for CC? He wouldn't better off going to England from that year.
Yeah, but all them in a move him though. You know, one of the things though with schoolboy football, you kind of get the hype still. You kind of get the hype still, and no matter what. One scout, I look for him. I tell you, he kind of get the hype. I tell you,
yeah. I mean, but look, to be honest, are you pleased with the amount of movement out of the schoolboy that we get? Because if you check it, you know, the last like 3 years, we can count on like maybe 200 the most. Man will left from the schoolboy and go somewhere. Romain Blake did left, right? Statuel left. Whisper left, Dixon left, Zimini's left. That are 5 McGann, you know. Pearson left, that are 6. But I shouldn't just be able to reel off the name them so fast. It should be more than that, I think. I mean, I say all of them will go some big league or big place, you know. But as I said, we can't use the 6th most successful man to say, yeah man, without the hype, they wouldn't move. Because sometimes we think we're too quick to rush like the quick thing, and we're not looking on the bigger picture. So like with the national team a lot of the time, we're very short-sighted. So we say, yo, if we're not bust them new national team, you know, how we gonna see them? Who are gonna see them?
That was because of the older boys who had position at the time.
Yeah.
But here comes Mr. Speid and say, well, I'm gonna start them thing. Now I work again.
Yeah, well,
and he kind of cut down a little bit because him can't him alone talking, but him could have stopped somebody.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
because to me, like, why is it that the example has to be Richard King? 30 caps for the national team and getting moved. Why nobody can use Cephas as the poster boy? The man not get knocked all up in the Jamaica team, brother, and the man go overseas and do him thing until the reggae boys have to call him.
Right.
So why can't that be the example we use? No, would I rather skip over the example then? Because would I rather sell a thing, say, without this national team, yeah, we're not going to make no moves. And it's just not true. It's not true. Enough baller get overseas and play ball without make any national team. They just put in the work and somebody see them and them get an opportunity. Or them find some good management team who can shop them and find some opportunity for them. But it don't mean you have to play no damn Jamaica national team, brother. So don't sell me that. If you ever tell me that is the reason why man have to make the team, I just lie here telling me because it's not true. It's not true. And again, me and one of the people them will think it's impossible for them man to play for Jamaica. Me not say that. But me just say, don't sell me no foolishness about without the national team, them man they not gonna get to move nowhere. Because it's not true and seen. So me want you to tell the people them when them tell you, say I lie them I tell. Because it's a lie.
Don't go like them and say it's easier. It's easier.
Yeah, we not go around that. But me just say, don't tell me that's the thing too. We want easiness too much. Sometimes you know have to go run, brother.
Hold on. The biggest problem. You have a member, I remember how people operate in a Jamaica, how things operate. I mean, everyone too stressed on it, because I might mash up some people and how them operate. You understand? But at the end of the way, you have to understand how people operate when it come on to money, when it come on to people who, you have a lot of people who manipulate people in Jamaica. The system which people for work free, you have some dinosaur in the system where them collect the money and them tell them to work free. So people look for them thing there and don't want to work with them, brother. You know what I say?
Yeah.
Clubs are some ridiculous money to some players, man.
They even make sense.
You understand? Before you put up sale and clause and everything. And it comes down to management, Jason.
Well, no feel away, no. Same King with us moving up. The amount of thing me the man them turned down for your last 2 years for the brother. I said, John was star. Why each man with the ball? And then if you turn out now to sell him to that club, yeah. I wonder why this club get to buy him, Honestly, but I love to ask Speid that, literally, say, what was it about this deal? Because to my knowledge, you get a better deal than this from before. So I don't know. I must say the seller and did better.
Oh, so you know the deal with this club, right?
Well, I don't know the full details. All I know is the fee to what from when we read, because we don't talk to Speid about it direct, but from when we read, is a nominal fee was paid. And if you know what that means typically say them accept less than the market value. Right? So me just go off of what me read. Me not talk to Speid direct. And me not talk to nobody direct when deal with it. But me just tell you when me read. In a more than one place. Says a nominal fee. But the way you
can't tell you for sure if Richard King continue to do what he's doing in terms of going and learning and improving. Kabale will be rich.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. So basically, it might probably some nice add-ons and thing in there, probably some achievable add-ons, Yeah.
And the thing with King is that he's a youngster that willing to learn,
Bless up.
He's always humble.
Yeah.
Always humble.
Yeah, me see that.
So.
We see that. He look like him have a good mentality. That is true.
Yeah, man. Different, man. Mentality is about a different level.
And you can see him play with confidence, but he not really come across like him thinking bigger than people at the same time,
Right. Yeah, man. The man is young and humble and listen, bro.
Yeah, you can see.
So that's why
and every time he talk, to the media and stuff when he around the camp, him always bring up how much he might learn, and him glad to pin up there and the man they learn from, and yeah, man. So you can see say him have a good mentality at least. That is good.
So let's work it down in your brain. Him at this club and him at train high intense every day. Right nutrition, right gym work, and him bigger in your body. He might get bigger in terms of quicker now, have more muscle mass in terms of fast pitch muscle. He might get faster at the ball. Must get faster at the ball. But the game will go fast. So he must learn how to be more consistent in games that he play. And if he can get all them things there, with him IQ him already, it's just improvement. You know, hopefully not get an injury and slow him up. But me personally, and I tell the people again, I'm seeing him try to move from this club to a bigger club soon.
So we're giving him just 1 season, or you think he could have taken 2 seasons?
2 seasons.
2 seasons. All right, fair enough. Well, him have the option to extend to a 3rd year. So hopefully, if you're right, him not even extend and just get him move after the 2nd year there. So we'll go and watch the progress. Him season will start. Well, him have a next game tomorrow. So we'll see if him play. We'll see if him play. Him club have him 2nd League Cup game tomorrow. So I definitely I go try find it and see what I'm going with that.
Yeah, have a purpose to watch a league there.
Yeah, so St. Mirren, as we say, it's not a league game. Them have League Cup a play now, and them have play some side named 4-4, who looks like them win pan penalties in them first game. So we are gonna see them have one loss already. Them draw 0-0, but in the League Cup in Scotland they go to penalties and them losing a penalties. So right now them need to kind of get a win to get back in where them need to be. And that game is tomorrow at 1:45 Jamaica time, 2:45 my time. So I'm gonna try to find that somewhere on the net and watch it. It was an unused sub last week, so we'll see if he get some game time tomorrow. So
he was on the bench.
Yeah, he was on the bench. He just never come on.
All right, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, so
must get a top 16 minutes. So
yeah, they they have aspirations to move up now. Last year was a good year for them because them is a team normally they don't in the lower half of the table, but them finished in the top 6 last year, which is good for them. I'm sure them want make a next step now even further. So yeah, hopefully King can do everything, but guess what? Unseen make a runway. I'll look after the show now and get some rest. But respect for the call, man. I don't know. Me not really too take no football reasoning personal. So don't feel like me ever take nothing personal,
People them think skin nowadays, brother.
Yeah, no, me not stay so, brother. Me is a top class troller, and in order to be that, you have to be able to can take trolling too. So I say it sometime, but me not take them thing that serious. So you know if you make me know them thing there. And you not take nothing personal neither. If we are reading about football and I disagree, I just life go sometime, brother. But I don't like me not go disrespect you, me not go tell you about your whatever. Me not depend them thing like not that serious. I just talk about football. We not go agree on everything. So I just
you're not a boss at JT.
No, me not depend them something, brother. Me not go crash out.
Big up JT.
Yeah, man, big up all of the people. Them have them. I said this from day one. Everybody have them own style on YouTube. I mean, not really business what a man style is, but just know, say, if me dep on your show, I mean, in the comment section, I might challenge you. Cause that me do, So don't take it personal. I just so life go. Yeah. But anyway, boss, big up yourself.
Where you got coaching license with you?
Yeah, man. Me do my license them America, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. Me do my license.
Just soon start similar to me.
Yeah, I know. Big up yourself.
Which one you have to do?
I do right now. Me just start out, man. Just do my grassroots not too long. I'm have do my practical for the think August the 10th. Me have a full day. And once I do that, I get my D. So yeah, me do everything leading up to actually getting it. Right now, me just have
why never do the Conga Cup one?
Because it don't make sense for me to do the Conga Cup one because I'm in Jamaica enough.
No, but the Conga Cup one is the one that is more recognized than the American license.
So the US Soccer Federation license is less recognized than the CONCACAF license?
Yeah, because the CONCACAF license, you can coach in all of the countries, you can coach in the US.
Brother, I'm mad to see a chat. Me can coach with a US license anywhere in a CONCACAF. Where I tell you?
Me not gonna say no.
Me
But
not
I
ask
say,
you. Me not ask you.
Tanka Cup license, you can coach anywhere in a
Me not say
Tanka Cup
no.
region.
Me not say no, but me just tell you.
I don't know.
If I continue my education all the way to the pro level, that pro license US thing when I have, me could have coach at Mexico, me could have coach at USA, me could have coach at Jamaica, me could have coach at Blow anywhere in a CONCACAF. Me sure of that. Me not sure about South America, but me know me can coach every territory in a CONCACAF with a US license.
I'm not sure neither if that is so. With
All
what
right.
Tanka Cup is turning right
Well,
now.
the two we have homework then. The two we have
So we're
homework
not
then.
sure. Because the thing that changed, even Tanka Cup, even Tanka Cup, what they do is that when they do it, they look at the US license and they add things to it and then put them logo on then to say, all right.
Well, all right. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
The reason why me go that channel here is because when my daughter play, the coaching educators there, them see me for them just see me on the sideline and watch the game and I talk. And say, yo, you know the game, blah blah blah. I say, yeah man, we just never really get in a coaching before. And them say, okay, well, send a brother your email, blah blah blah, and then them start saying, tell me which one to take and this and that. And it was just them basically streamline everything for me. So it never made no sense for me to do nothing else. And then we do some research and I say, oh, this license could have carry weight anywhere in the region. So that's why I go do it. You know?
But as a grassroots, the license not grassroots.
Yeah, me know. I mean, as far as like actually coaching a team, yeah, me not no experience in that. Me just follow football and me know coach.
You want experience and how to coach team, you want to get some beating and anything there.
No, but to be honest, I'm only doing this to better talk about football analytically. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I want to actually be a coach, but I want to have the licensing of a coach because I think it will help me to see the game from every perspective. Because right now I really mainly watch the game as an analyst, but I also want to think more like a coach because I think it will help my analysis as well.
But if you're coaching, no, we'll put this together. I just said, right now you're looking at the analysis part, but every coach must can analyze.
Facts.
But
the point I'm making is
you can't win a game.
No, that's what I'm saying. The point I'm making is I am not really getting my coaching badges to be able to beat unseen in a match. That's the point I'm making. So the part of me I said before about practical and why you not coach a team and you need to stay with a team, you need to do that because you want to actually coach. I am just attaining the knowledge of being a coach, not necessarily to actually coach. Now, of course, if I do it and it did end up that I start coach, then I just saw it end up. But that's not really my plan right now. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
But I'm always a coach, man. But it's just not maybe the level that you think that I should be at. But,
yeah, okay, fair enough, because I have coached levels that don't matter either, and I don't even consider. That's why I say I never coached. That's why I say I never coached before, because I wouldn't even count that as like, you know, that I just some coach some people.
Know that that's the most important level of coaching in the world.
The grassroots.
I mean,
yeah, of course, because I lay the foundation. Yeah, your house gonna drop down if the foundation fault, you know, boss.
Right. The biggest problem in Jamaica is that all the way so-called top coaches are at the bottom.
Them are coach the highest level.
And them are tell you straight up so they can't coach you more. Because 3/4 of them cannot coach youths. They don't have the temperament. They want to see tactics and man control ball and move the ball. They don't want to tear a youth from not controlling a ball. So when they reach in a grade 4, grade 5, they might dribble and style, this, that. We do that every year, man.
Yeah.
And that's a real coaching, brother.
Well, I'm seeing me know a lot of the people them give a fight, brother, but to be honest, as a younger youth in the coaching, just know say even if people give you a hard time, brother, at the end of the day, you know, all of us want to see the coach and get better, you know. So if people are give you a warm time, I just should want to improve, brother. I saw if you take it. Nobody take it like them a bad mind or a fight against you. And to me, that's the problem where some of our coach them have in Jamaica. Them think everybody a bad mind them. Them think everybody don't want them do well. But as you say, people skin too thin. We coach them skin too thin, brother. Tell them to have stronger. You know, don't be so quick for vex and brother. You must take criticism. You must take praise. It's all a part of it, brother.
But Jason, as we said, you see when I do the course, them I mean maybe if you go high, like some coaches, like Eli's coach, me not talk like how me talk now, like how me to the B, and I'm learning. So you learn IM. No, EM, sorry. EM, not IM. Emotional intelligence. Right? And you learn how to use the IQ. So once you get in a situation, like say Jamrock gave me a show up on the channel. Normally back in the days now, I tell them maybe say something bad came or whatever. But at the end of the day, now you learn to accept people for who them is. And you move on. Because you can't teach everybody, you can't help everybody to understand what you want them to understand.
Yeah,
you have to just prove them wrong with your work.
There you go. There you go. Let's talk in more action. I like that. That's
what I did in the prep league as well. Because I remember when I was at Lionel in the Premier League, I was assisting. And something going on and the head coach gone. New coach coming. It's the principal of Mount Pleasant at the time, Vanica came in and carrying an assistant. So one day I was there, and I said to him, you know, start with your prep school team. You know, response was?
Yeah, I'm saying.
One team, man, you don't know. I'm big, a long time you're coach, you know, you're easy to put together a team. We talk about coach. You know, so me I coach my team start training from August and everything. I really laugh, you know. Yes, so one time I catch him, I'm under 9 game 5. I'm U13 game 4. And after I scored 2 goals, I just start to call someone and put on because it was so easy.
Yeah, man, preparation always the best thing, man.
So at the end of the day, we make the what? So Jamrock, made the action talk, load the motor.
Yeah, man, see my tell if you keep on improve there. Sound like him a fight against you, brother. I just convo, you know.
No man, him say one day I'm gonna on the sideline and I don't know say
Yeah. The man say he might put in teamwork too, you know. So one day I'm gonna book you. Just stay there. Anyway, big up. I respect for the call, and I'm serious like I run off, you know. So big up yourself.
Yeah. You serious?
Yeah, man. I got my forward after I show now, man. I'm done.
You're done. All right, so big up.
All right, bless.
Big up people in that chat.
Yeah,
Germany, guy there.
All right, big up and see you later. Yes, people. So that was Unseen with a call. Give me a whole heap of time to talk and thing. Look, a lot of the people, you know, we can worry in the comment section, but when them call in, it not sound like them have more sense when them are call in and talk. So some of them man, you know, need to just stop typing in the comment section and calling or join or something, because you get a much better understanding of what people are trying to say when them talk it out with you and talk to you. But anyway, we still not gonna agree on everything, and that's fine. But big up Unseen for the call, and big up to each and every one of you who watch the show tonight. We greatly appreciate it. We never got to the part about the passport process, so we will eliminate that from the title. And the next reasoning time, we will reasoning. We'll start the show with that whole passport process, my take on it, and the program that Manningsman and Simon did. And I Am Sure Sports. Big up to I Am Sure Sports. Big up Simon. Big up Manningsman. Big up all the YouTubers. Them. Make sure to like their videos, but first and foremost, like this one if you're here watching it, if you're watching it on the replay, and you want to get involved in the conversation of anything I brought up tonight, just drop it in the comment section and we'll keep the conversation going in the comment section as well. All right, Darren Martin, I want to big you up big time because you stuck around for this entire video. It's almost 3 hours long, people. That is great. Conrad, the same. A lot of you guys been here from the beginning as well. You know, unseen there from a long time. I take it in. You know, who else me say earlier? And Travis did say something early. I'm still there about a talk. Yeah, man. So big up to each and every one of you who stuck around, even if you just pass through and drop a like on the video. We greatly appreciate it. I never really set a likes target on the video. So we're not going to beat nobody if it not reach a certain number. But people, if you're watching this on the replay, let's see, we reach where we need to in the likes. All right, to reach the 60 likes, people. Would I love feed reach to the 100 likes once this video done and gone out into the world. So go and smash up the like button. Come let us go. Say, all right, brother, big up yourself. Come let us go. Thank you. I've never seen you before, so big up for tuning in. That team was improving under John big time. John just reached. Yeah, John Peel, me done for the night, but you don't know it's in the YouTube sphere for life. So you can flick back on the video, listen to what I had to say about some of the players that made moves. I don't want to disrespect any of the ladies, but Taylor Hines went to Arsenal. Love that move because Arsenal is a team that's going to continue to grow and get better, and we're going to need to rotate. So Katie McCabe, Taylor Hines, we have two wicked left back now. So yeah, either one of them can play. She's not Jamaican, but I have to point it out. In our region, Olivia Smith, the Canadian, big money move, 1 million from Liverpool headed to Arsenal, the Champions League champs. We're really trying to go after Chelsea in that league. Don't know if it will work, but we're definitely trying everything off the field to do so. Yeah, man, Hines gone to Arsenal, man. Real big, man. Where she came from, I didn't even realize she was at the academy there from 12 till about 17 when she moved to Liverpool. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I somebody up top said that as well. That Calvin may be going there. So that's interesting because this whole summer I was thinking Busy would be the one to move, but it looks like Calvin might be on the move to somewhere overseas. So let's keep tracking that and see how that goes. Yeah, man, Olivia Smith, brilliant. Yeah, man, Mass, big move for her, you know, Champions League victory paying dividends. Yeah, we have spent some money, man, 1 million to rot it. Yes, I know. I know. Boo, go Citizens. But I think the Citizens and Arsenal are the main ones trying to catch Chelsea in that damn league, you know, man. Chelsea can't win it again, you know, man. Yeah, I stuck in the past. Move on. Stay tuned and busy. All right. Yeah, man. I am surprised. I'm hearing more about Calvin recently because busy was what I was hearing. Only you alone know. Yeah, man. Massa always there about, man. Massa my boss, man. Massa always support the thing. Whenever I'm not live doing him shows, him there in the comment section, same way, man. Yeah, man. Big up to Mass every time. See, Mal is a member, so I have to big him up even more. Respect for the membership. And people, anybody else who want to join the membership, you know, just find the join button in the description, click on it and follow the instructions. That's just a great way to you know, that's a great way. Okay, this is Clive McLean. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not really taking it so seriously just yet, but you know how these things evolve. You never know what what will happen in the end. You know, you know when I'm a big coaching friend, them have a big game coming up, and man send me the footage of the team them are playing, ask me for a scouting report and things. So yeah, I that's really what I enjoy doing more than anything is the scouting, like trying to come up with a plan to beat a team or stifle a team. I enjoy doing that more than any other thing in football. So I want to continue to attain the knowledge of the coaching to really and truly, like, you know, I think that's where my niche would be in a coaching staff, like analysis, like you know, watch a team play 3-4 game and come up with, you know, ways to beat them, tendencies I see to beat them, what we have to watch out for with them playing us. Like I love doing that, scouting a team and then giving a coach a report. Like I love doing that. It's my favorite thing. We have to point out the foolishness. We will not play three blind mice like you. Juma Johnson, man, all over the JPL. Yeah, man. So Travis, as I can say, and JPL as well. Well, you don't know this already, but whoever don't know, you guys need to follow BAM Sports TV for all the latest in the movings in the Premier League. This man is like the Fabrizio of the PL. So yeah, it's JPL as well is very in the know, but I don't see him dropping the news as frequent. Maybe we'll do one big roundup when we talk about everything, but like day-to-day IG, yeah, man, BAM Sports have your luck, have you covered with that, man. So give him a follow up on the IG, like him, follow him on the, subscribe to him on the YouTube as well, and also subscribe to JPL because, as I said, he give you some nice video roundups of things over time. So yeah, man. Pre-game scout, yep, video coach. I think that will be my niche, to be honest. I think my temperament is too bad to be standing up cussing people. And I know I come off very even keel here, but when I lose it, I lose it. So yeah. Can't beat Bam him too fast. I tell you the truth, man. When you come on to the breaking it, it don't make sense you try beat him for true, man. Just you do your lane. What me like with you, JPL, you're always very detailed in your video them. You have your editing and thing, and can see say you do the time to get decent production value in it. I like that. Keep that up, man. Yeah, man. Bama do him thing, man. Bam Brits here at the JPL, JPL more like David Ornstein. Him just kind of give you quality over the quantity. Bam no miss nothing. Bam all I tell you when man was free agent this morning. Him a tell you say the club and the club and negotiate him. So him a give you every update on everything. Man say, yeah, man, deal was about to happen, and boy, man eat some bad breakfast and have to stay in the bathroom long and miss the deal, and man, I tell you all kind of things, brother. Joke. I go too far now, but trust me, Bam a cover everything, man. I don't know where him have so much source of forward from. You could have forward from Westmoreland side, St. Thomas side, any side. Bam a find out, brother. Yeah, man. Oh, Liverpool dropping at this, man. Move up. Oh, because him say this. Okay. Yeah, man, me don't talk about that, man. Trump win the Club World Cup, Big baller Trump. I was always head coach. Boss. Had to be. Travis going to racing is a good move. Yeah, man. JPL. Me tell you that all the while, though, man. I like how you do your thing in terms of how you talk about the game, and I like how you break down things. I like it a lot still. Yeah, man, me agree with so. JPL and Bam are the go-to them, in the JPL. Yeah, man, we can say that. No apology. My favorite U20 player in the JPL, Big Nell. Can't wait to see how much he has improved. Gonna be interesting. Another Nepo signing, Him father run the team and him dep on the club. But one thing me say, I think he'll actually be in shape and fit. Unlike the last son we was play JPL, Story Jason. One day a brother drop about 20 football books in front of me. Said I need a defensive coordinator yesterday. He was at a big US high school and thought the defensive coordinator was sabotaging him. Damn. You pass U20. Yeah. I know what you mean, man. Yeah, Xander gone Waterhouse. Them say, welcome to the family, like him never been in a family from a long time. You know what I'm to them. Can't trick me. If you bet on PSG, you lose. I know. Can tell you're a CB fan. Hello. All right, we're about to start the CB war today. But big up, people. Respect and thanks again. Yeah, man, I'm gone from the team over there. Clivesdale loves Xander too. Yeah, man, a decent baller, man. I think he was as good as what was advertised, but I don't think he is as bad as some people say either, But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where the game is at now. I haven't seen him play in a few years. I thought what was interesting was that first go around with the U20 team, they look better than the second time, which was weird to me. I think he would have get better over the time, but I don't know, I never see it. But yeah, I'm gonna still people, big up on yourself. I know I said bye about a few times already, but this time I really and truly mean it. Big up. It won't be such a long break. Like I said, if it's not tomorrow night, people, you definitely will see me Wednesday at some point. I'm gonna try run out again tomorrow. Because I want to talk about this passport process and what I took from the conversation with Mannings and Simon, and just my thoughts moving forward and how we can maybe better get the information out there to potential players, right? So big up. Thanks again for tuning in, people. Remember, on the way out, if you haven't before, hit the like button. Share the content as well. Hopefully, we got a few more subscribers. We're very, very close to the 2,000 mark, people. So I want to bust a big celebration when we reach. So get us there, people, quick and fast. All right, we're very, very close. But anyway, people, we'll get there eventually because we're not stop putting in the work. We're not afraid of work, people. So anyway, big up on yourself. Thanks again for tuning in. At the end of these programs on this station, you will hear these words. I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. Come on, Jamaica football. We need you to do better. And you can do better. Let's go.